Good evening. Welcome in to the big show. We got ads dropping. 30 seconds. Ads dropping. 30 seconds. No, Enterprise. I didn't watch it yet. I might watch it after the show. Or I might watch it tomorrow. Or I might watch it this weekend. But I'm definitely going to watch it. Crazy not to watch it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. All right, ads dropping. 7 seconds. Airtime, 4 minutes. 4 minutes till air and mark. UltimatDJz. This is Talking Track Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. Welcome into the show. Appreciate you guys all being here. What's going on? Oh, I forgot to turn on the lights, didn't I? I forgot to turn on the lights. My bad. Oopsies. I'll fix it. And then we do a Talking Track server sound off. There we go. You guys hit it up in chat. Where are we at? Noon Whistle kicking us off tonight. Thank you. What's up on server 29? Jace on 44. Thank you very much. Dr. Juby on server 61. I hate that meme. That's a terrible meme. Why do you do that? Why are you doing that, Juby? Why are you doing that? Stramlorian on 9. What's going on? Gold Earth on 188. What's going on? Counselor Hef, server 20. How you doing? Tarpy, server 30. Dr. Iron Chef, aloha from server 14. Wolfwood on 49. Thank you. Scaly back from the Outback on 188. Wait, I thought you were on 193. Did you get merged? Scaly back from the Outback on 193. I've been saying that for 6 years. Did you get merged? I can't say it. Bro, I don't like it. I need 193 back. Thank you, General Darkfire on 30. Pirate Yar on 34. I love that meme. I'm going to pull that up. We'll share that here in just a second. Hi, good evening. What's going on? Skelly back. 193 misses being here as well. Yeah, that makes me sad. I miss it. John Drill on 32. What's going on? Rose Taco, server 99. Kirok on server 61. Tony Pie says, hold my beer. Caledon on 89. Engineer also on 89. Shadow Fox 63. What's going on? Strider on 30. Dragon Keeper on server 53. Darkfire says, power's out. No, I fixed it. Enterprise on server 30. Bend to the Robot on 51. What's going on? Shiz says, I got a tan. Dude, that was like weeks ago, man. Weeks ago. But thank you. I'm nursing it. I'm trying to keep it good. Wristbreaker on 30. Lots of people, lots of server 30 tonight. Alejandro, thank you. What's going on? Dustin, however, how are you? What tier is my personal squall? Tier 1. Tier 1. That's what it is. I have not been super working on it. But I'm gonna. There's things. I'm gonna do it. I promise I'm gonna do it. Ladies and gentlemen, guess who I found knocking on the door of the studio? He's literally been out there, I'm pretty sure, for like a week. I didn't actually check that door because I use a different door when I come into studio. But there was a bowl of food and water out there, so he was able to survive for a little while. Ladies and gentlemen, Griffin is here. Look at him.
I'm just here for the green screen.
How are you doing, buddy? Welcome back. What's up, man?
Thank you.
How are things?
Things are great. My shield is up. I fulfilled my original purpose. Everything is just dandy in life.
Tarpy, he fulfilled his original purpose. As a matter of fact, I don't know if Candy White is here, Tarpy, but I've got an idea for a great new T-shirt. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I
can't imagine.
I can't imagine. Listen, we've got stuff we got to do. All right. I never thought that the last show, Tarpy, would turn into something as, I don't even want to say like legendary or epic, but the last show had so many clippable moments in it. So many things that could be taken away from that show and have been taken away from that show. Okay? I have fulfilled my original purpose, all right, is a great one. Yeah, right? We've got, guys, I did, in fact, make buttons, all right? So you'll never believe this, Tarpy, but then Candy White said, hold my beer, all right? Yeah. Yeah, so we got buttons.
I love that song.
It's a great song, man. I just, like, there were so many great things that happened on the last show. So Danny says you might as well lose your NDA while you're at it. No, listen, you know what? Let me tell you something. I've got a little bit of feedback. Is that a command? Yeah, ! Hold my beer in the Twitch chat is a command. It will respond with the Scopely bot who will tell you to hold their beer. Okay. ! hold my beer. I mean, it's turned into such a thing. Forgotten Sex said, you've overplayed that already. 10 times per show is too much. You know what? I actually thought that I agreed with you, Sec. And I thought, no, listen.
Hold on a second. If you think 10 times was too much, what if we did it 11? Hold my beer.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry, you want me to hit the button. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Where's the cue on that?
I got it.
I thought
right
you
here.
worked in FM radio. What's the problem?
I wasn't prepared. Okay. I really wasn't prepared. You want to do it again? Now that I know that you're ready, I've got the button.
Too late. Hold my beer.
Okay. Anyway, no, listen, I actually talked to the cast about that, Sec. I talked to Griffin about it tonight. I said, I wondered if we didn't overdo it by just like 1 or 2 times, right? But then I got to thinking, there are some comedy bits out there. Like, and I was specifically taking the Family Guy. What an amazing style of comedy that is. But their whole comedy is overdoing it, right? Like the Cool Whip. There was a whole scene where he just talked about Cool Whip. All right. And then there's the pukey. I mean, Family Guy. Anyway, you know what? Skippy says it was getting old towards the end. I don't necessarily disagree. I felt like maybe, but then everyone I talked to said that it was the most legendary show ever.
Then I reminded him of when we found quality. You know how many times we played quality?
We played quality a lot. There was a lot of quality. We had that. Listen, I've got quality on 3 buttons. That way I could play it so many times.
Quality.
Oh, crap.
Quality.
It's on a ton of buttons. All right. So, yeah, Will Wheaton. You know, I know that it might have been a little much, Skippy, Sec. I get it. I still think that it was forged in fire. Okay, it was forged in fire, and it ended up being a remarkable show. I thank everybody for putting up with it. We also had kind of stupid numbers on it, and I'm also going to come back and say that I appreciated. And Tarpy, I mentioned this to you guys in the chat. I appreciated everybody's acceptance of what that show was. At its core, and I mean this seriously for a moment, at its core, I had one mission that night. Ballabomb, stickers are not working because we're on podcast tonight.
Ooh, too bad. No humming turtle.
Sorry. Sound alerts are off. Yeah, it's a podcast tonight. By the way, Jess Insanity, I fixed your pink diamond. Fixed your pink diamond. Ooh. I appreciate, Tarpy, the seriousness of what that show delivered. You and I actually had a private conversation about it, and it was the same kind of thing. Like, was this the right message? Was this the right approach? Because people were so mad that day. And there were, Tarpy, a couple of people who messaged me saying that I didn't take it seriously enough. That did happen.
What?
So
Okay.
That sounds like STFC. That sounds like the same people who crapped all over my very hard worked video that I did.
Some people said I didn't take it seriously enough. And Tarpy, I think our mission that night was actually the opposite, right? It was to not be serious. Because what were we going to do? Like that was kind of, turned a few frowns upside down, was fun, says Jeff. Thank you. That, I think, became our mission that night because there was nothing that we could say or do to make it any better. Scopely
Sometimes all you can do is laugh.
Scopely messed up so bad. All right?
Yeah.
I mean, that Griffin made this. So Griffin listened to the show. On playback and then made this for us. All right? Right here. He sent this to me earlier tonight. He said, we got to open the show with this. All right. And then he was talking about the whole shields going down thing. And you can't make some of this stuff up. All right. Vul said that stream was the only good thing related to STFC so far this week. And thank you, Vul. That makes me very, very happy because we kind of realized there was absolutely no turning it around. There was absolutely no saving Scopely from themselves this week. There was absolutely no point in coming out and trying to convince you otherwise. It literally needed to be stress relief. It needed to be entertainment more than anything else. It needed to be an outlet. And I wanted to be that for you guys, and I wanted you to know that I was representing your interests, and I wanted you to know that I was on your side, and I wanted you to know that I agreed with you on all these things. But I also, right, I have a contract. I can't come out and scream and yell and cuss at him, and you know, and what would that have done anyway? Wouldn't have done anything except make my job harder. What I found that night, thanks to you guys. What I found that night, thanks to you guys, thanks to the cast, Tarpy, Matters, Jules, what I found that night was that it doesn't have to always be hellfire and brimstone. It doesn't have to be sharpening pitchforks, because sometimes we just need to laugh. You know, Scopely did it one time before, and they did a good job at it. You guys remember the Treasury bug? They owned it. They made it into a bit. They made it into a funny thing that the community rallied around. That might be the single most satisfactory screw-up they ever did, is when they just came out, owned it, and said, golly, what a stupid mistake. Let's have a little fun with it.
That's what platforms like this are all about. You have to go out and commiserate, have a good time. Life sucks. The world sucks. But at least you can kind of laugh about it, and you can do that together. Group commiseration. Yeah. That's what used to be great about late night television.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, yeah, that's right. They're going to mess up sometimes, regardless of the rants. Push me. I get it. I want to make sure that everybody, and I'm sure that 90% of you did know, but for the 10% who thought that I was sitting back and resting and didn't take it seriously, I promise you I did. Dev chat, I've been very active in there.
You should have read his DMs. Oh, my goodness. Holy fire and brimstone. Oh.
I did take it serious. But my role that night felt different. And Tarpy, that was one thing that you and I talked about. I felt like our role became a little bit different that night. It became a home, right? Like, we wanted to be community for you guys. We wanted you to feel welcome and amongst like-minded people, and that we empathized with you. And you know what? Piss on it. Let's laugh a little bit. Let's tell a couple of jokes. Let's do some silly things. And the whole cast. I talked to them afterwards. Tarpy, you can address that if you want. I felt incredibly humbled that night. What a great show that was owned and created by the company. Shriva says, so you ran it into the ground by saying, hold my beer 4,000 times. Well, I mean, we did need to double down on it a little bit. We did. Tarpy, in fairness, said that that by adding a little variety to it, that it wasn't just all Scopely, that it was also a little bit of Jules hold my beer and Matters hold my beer and Tarpy hold my beer. It just became kind of a fun little family thing. And now there's commands in the chat, and there's merch. Candy White is making merch. Tarpy, it turned into something far bigger than myself. It turned into something huge, and I didn't mean for it to. We also had almost 600 people watching that night. I looked at the stats, Tarpy. You know, there were over 1,000 unique live viewers that night. That was insane.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Crazy.
It's going to by far be one of our most watched lives of the entire year. Well,
great. You know, anytime there's a car wreck on the freeway, people definitely stand by and watch the little rubber wreck. Like, ooh.
Yeah, it was something else. So anyway, I do take it seriously. I promise. How many gun ports did I want on the Serene Squall? Gonna rephrase that question. I'm not exactly sure if that's a typo, or rephrase your question. I'll come back to it, Dustin. I promise.
He means how many weapons? How many times he wanted to fire around? That can be only it.
How many times does it fire in a round? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bensai, it is on VOD if you want to go back and watch it. It was legend. Wait for it. Dairy. It was a good show. So yeah, there is a hype train going on if you're in the live studio audience. Thank you, Longinus. He said I loved it that night. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that, man. It was a great time. Jondrel just slapped Griffin on the rear end. Got a little tush slap right there.
Hi,
DJs, I'm sorry. If it really is legendary, I can't rewatch it. I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, well, do apologize.
Oh my God. Jules, that was a dad joke.
That was.
My
Hold on.
God.
There you go. Got it. Good job, Jules. Fantastic. All
Official
right.
dadding.
Yeah, listen, Silvertap says, I think fulfilled my original purpose should be actual merch. No, I think Candy's making it. Honestly, I think.
What do you mean? I made it in 13 seconds. What's wrong with my shirt?
Well, I mean, it needs a little talking Trek, splash
It
on
does
it.
not. It's brown. It's the color of poop.
Okay, fair. That's a thing. We probably listen. Candy's going to make it in something. All right, he's going to make it. Maybe he just adds a little green Griffin to the side. Okay, maybe just got to add a little green Griffin and everything will be fine. But no, it was a good time. Skippy says, Griffin, we know you were going through some personal stuff recently, but were you able to get those remaining vengeance blueprints you needed?
Oh, I want to talk about that tonight. Yes, I am the proud owner of a tier 6 vengeance, and I have taken out a HELOC and a third mortgage on my home to get to tier 7.
Yikers.
Because it takes literally thousands of dollars
Jules
to go one tier to the next.
I told him there's a loop.
Years.
Yeah, I told him there's a loop. It's fine. He's got a loop.
There's a loop.
I can't take
It's
2
fine.
years. I've only got 56 days left in this event to get this special avatar that nobody will ever be able to get again. I'm looking at the event right here. It's right on the webcam. I have project server first solo leaderboard. 53 days, Jules. I don't even have 56 days. I only have 53.
To do what?
To
It's
max
just
the
it's a spin
vengeance.
event. It's
of
a heroic
course.
event. He wants to score in a heroic SMS. Is what he wants to do.
You want to max the ship?
No, it's not an SMS. It's an SLB. I've got to be. It's a server first SLB. Why does nobody else but me think that sounds like a good idea?
You know what? I'm going to tell you why it's not a real good idea. Hold on. I have the perfect screenshot for you, Griffin, about why it's not a good idea. Okay. Allow me.
Yeah, please share it with me. I've been out of the game a little bit, so I don't
Yeah,
really know.
no,
I mean,
you know
it's
what?
the best ship in the game, right? The Vengeance is the first legendary ship.
You're exactly right, which is why this shouldn't be a thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Tier 6 Vengeance being taken out by a Max Junker.
What? Oh, that's got to be doctored. That's not real. That can't be real.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
Is
Hang
that,
on. You know what?
Is that real?
That's real. Hey, how about this one? How about this? This is 2 PvP crews. Okay, 2 actual PvP crews. Absolutely, straight up. Max Cube, Tier 6 Vengeance. Who you think came out on top on that one? Let me turn off the chat.
The Vengeance.
No, sorry. Please try again. Oh.
Okay, well, I see the problem with all these screenshots. This is the problem.
Okay.
What tier is that Vengeance?
That Vengeance is a Tier 6. It's a Tier 6
clearly
Vengeance.
you need to take it to tier 18 in order for it to really matter.
I seem to remember.
There's a screenshot floating around where a Max Vengeance was still killed by a Max Cube.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Someone post it after hearing this in the talking.
You know what? Hey. Maybe it's because we're talking about the cube, and the cube just can't be beat, right? I'm sure that a G6 Epic is not going to have anything.
What is that?
Oh, that would be an Enterprise E that is also slapping the shit out of a Vengeance. Oh, yikes.
That can't be right. That's got to be another crew problem.
That looks like Wayoon. That looks like Enterprise Explorer Strike Team. The worst PvP strike team in the game, I think. I could be wrong. Maybe things have changed. Maybe things have changed.
You're missing
Obviously,
the whole point.
No,
You're failing to realize what's on the line here. Turn on the whale cam.
Okay.
Look at this.
Whale
Look
cam.
at this.
Absolutely.
Look at
Whale
this.
cam. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the whale cam.
Server first solo leaderboard. You have the opportunity to be the first person on the server to max the Vengeance and get recognition for it with this amazing avatar that only you will own ever. Nobody else can ever possibly own it because you're the first person on the server to max the Vengeance. And clearly, it's still up for grabs because nobody has scored in that event.
Oh, yes. Well, I can't imagine why.
But I can tell you exactly why. Do you know why?
Why?
Because in order to max this ship, you must first upgrade the ship. In order to upgrade the ship, you need ship parts, right?
Right.
And it's
Of course.
well, of course, Griffin. Why don't you just go ahead and buy all the ship parts for this Vengeance? What could be so hard about that?
Obviously.
Do you know how you get the damn ship parts for this
There's a loop.
ship?
There's a loop. There's a loop. There's a loop.
There's no loop. There's no loop. The loop is go
Yes,
to the
there
bank,
is.
rob it, and then bring it home, and then maybe you can afford what they're doing in here. Because what you do is you buy this $99 pack.
Hey, at
This
least that one.
$99 pack.
No, at least that
Huh?
one says $99 on it. The good news is that one actually says $99 on it and not $19. I mean, that could happen too. You never know. All right.
I wish it said $19 because when you buy it for $99,
no,
all you
because-
get are you get these 1,000 automation modules array. That sounds great, right? That'll get you at least 2-3 tiers on the ship.
Well, yeah,
no
maybe.
problem,
Yeah,
right?
Sure. Yeah.
No.
you
You
need
take these stupid
144,000.
modules. Look at this. You take these stupid modules into this event store, not ship parts, event store. You click on this automation module array right here, and look. You get the chance. You get the chance of maybe getting some ship parts today.
So wait. You spend $100. I just lost you. You just went black. Lost the screen. Lost everything. Ah, Griffin! We lost him. He's gone. He must have lost electricity. See, this is what just happened right here, folks.
He can't pay his electrical bill.
He can't even afford to pay the power bill. Look, seriously, look, he's gone. That's it. He's out of here, folks. Where did he go? He's gone. Electric got shut off. All right. He gambled away his life savings on the chance to get a few Vengeance parts. He's very, very
Here's my favorite part, though.
not happy about it.
With all the spending he has done so far, he has saved himself 555 days of natural progression. What's a year and a half he's shaved off his upgrade time table for the Vengeance?
That's good. That's fantastic news.
Where did everybody go?
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Scammer.
Welcome back, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Griffin is here.
Did I get shut down by Scopely?
That is possible. Going back to the whale cam. There we go. So anyway, back to the amazing sourcing.
Look.
Yeah.
So I got 10 chances. I got 10 chances to get these ship parts, right? Oh, yeah, sure. Maybe I'll get that 8,000, right? Oh, well, look, I get a 40% chance to just get 100 of these modules. 100. And a 1% chance to get 320 of them. How generous. And then there's a 25% chance to get more of these things so I can keep rolling. So look, I'm going to hit this thing 10 times. And how many thousand ship parts do you think I'm going to get, DJs? 400. That's one. Look. 500. Ooh, 900.
Nice.
That's two. Look.
That's above
I'm
average.
getting like 300 to 400 to 500 per pull. So maybe I'll get 4,000 or
That's below
5,000 by the time I'm done with these 10.
No, guys, he's pulling 5 at a time. How many is that? 1 or 2 or 5 or what? One pull? Is that one pull?
One. I'm pulling one at a time. I get 10
you're obviously getting
rolls.
multiple rolls. Yeah, you're getting multiple. Oh, you got 10 rolls.
Well, I'm getting 3 rolls. I'm getting three rolls per pull, but I only get 2 pulls or 10 pulls for $100. So I've done this on average. I don't want to tell you how many times, but on average, I'm getting 5,800 ship parts per $100.
Okay, well, 5
sounds
to
great.
8,000 ship parts. Yeah, that's not a big deal because clearly
That
it
sounds
probably
amazing.
only costs like 500 to 1,000 ship parts per component, right? Like you say, a $100
yeah.
pack should get you at least about a tier and a half, right?
Look, that pull got me 300 blessed ship parts with no additional reroll.
They
300.
are blessed. Blessed are these thy ship
All
parts.
right, so there you go. I've
which
just
we
pulled
are
my
about
10
to upgrade
opportunities.
with our vengeance.
I go into the ship. Look, I go into the ship, and what can I upgrade? Nothing. I can upgrade nothing because I still don't have enough to even do one blessed ship part. I need 12,000 for the impulse engines.
Wait.
And I only have 11,000.
Hold on.
What?
So what we're saying for the podcast audience who can't see your screen is that you just spent $100. You just pulled the chest 10 times and got 30 rolls, and you did not get enough for a single component.
No, we're clocking about $1,100 per tier on this ship to get the parts that you need. This one component, this one swivel mounted torpedo. Now, granted, it is a swivel mounted torpedo. It's not any old torpedo.
Yeah,
but that's cost me 18,000 parts just for the one torpedo.
So that's like that's about 3 packs based on what we just saw.
Yeah, I'll need the 2 to 3 packs in order to upgrade this one kinetic weapon on this tier 6 ship, and it goes up to 18 tiers.
Let me tell you an anecdotal evidence here. To max the ship cost roughly $40,000 to $45,000.
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind about it, and that's probably if you're lucky. But everybody, there is good news about the ship, and does this make it all worth it? There is a new icon. There is a new icon. Look at that fun little triangle you get.
Oh, nice! It looks like an avocado.
It does. It's a flying avocado, and it's not even a ripe avocado. It's an old, stale, stinky avocado.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little screenshot of that. I'm going to put it in the graphics room, timestamp 10:16 p.m. Eastern time. Guys, you'll get a flying avocado. Listen, the art team, Tarpy, basically just you'll never believe this. They came in and said, yo, everybody, you don't just get triangles and squares anymore. Now, hold my beer, you get an avocado. All right, yeah, you get an avocado.
But DJs, wait, there is more. There is one more thing to show you.
Oh.
Yes, please.
Not only do you get a flying avocado, you think that's great, right? Well, let me warp to the next system. Hold my beer. Look at that.
Oh, I didn't hit the right button. Okay, there we go.
That's twice. That's 2 Qs you've blown for me, pal.
No,
two Qs.
What does it
one
look
more
like?
And I quit.
No, what does it look like?
It looks like an avocado.
Oh, look at that. Oh, this is an avocado.
That kid is flying an avocado.
I'm definitely gonna have to move this button to a better spot. I'm gonna have to move this button to a much better location here.
That kid is flying an avocado.
No, I can find the button. It's just on a different screen. I need that at the ready. I need it at the ready, right here.
So I do have a question though.
That's
this
go ahead.
expensive ship and all of its stuff, and it looks like an avocado. It gets beaten a lot, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of avocado toast.
That's the guacamole.
Oh, there you go. It is. It's toasted avocado. Ah, nice.
Oh yeah, well, there you go. There's the vengeance, everybody. Tier 6. I just can't wait to take this to tier 18 so I get my special avatar.
In 50 days, no less.
Or less, 53 days. I got 53 days to sell my kidneys and do other nefarious things.
DJs, I did post an updated chart. Thank you for showing this on screen. Griffin, you gave me tier 6. In the chat room, I posted a chart for the Vengeance. And I've done some math to figure out, just to guess, how long the upgrade timetable to max the ship out free to play. I know it's not free to play now, but eventually it's the new jellyfish. What do you think the timetable is to max the ship free to play?
Well, let's take a quick peek.
13 years.
Guess.
13 years.
13 years. I'm going to go with 7. Scopely has played with the 7 years number before. They've done 7 years before. What are we looking at here?
Saying 4 years, 2 years, 780 days, about 2 years. So we got cost and next tier here at the side of this upgrade bundle, and I can just tell you what the days are per tier from 1 to 6. What I can't tell you is 7 to 12 or 7 to 15. But just extrapolating that trend line out and then summing up all of those days, it's 9 years.
Ooh, I win! I win! Price is Right rules, I win! Good job, DJs.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Baconfish wants you to hydrate, so your kidneys are worth more when you have to sell them.
You know what? If I were to hydrate, I would do that, and I would do that with a brand new Ghost Sour Strips Rainbow Energy Drink. DJs.
What is this? New Ghost Sour Strips Rainbow Renegade.
Sour Strips Rainbow Renegade. All the flavor and excitement on your tongue of a Rainbow Sour Strip in an energy can beverage.
You know, funny enough, you mentioned that. I only just now have been able to pick up iced tea lemonade at my local gas station. Still not available in grocers, but down at the gas station where it's $3.50 a can, I can now actually get my iced tea lemonade, which is delicious. So I love this. As a matter of fact, I got a message. Shout out Pixelate. Pixelate sent me a message this week. Can I read this? I'm going to read this real quick, and then we're going to come back to other stuff because I got junker stuff here tonight. Oh, Seth, we're doing a podcast, so the alerts are up. I tell you what, you guys want me to turn alerts on for like 60 seconds? I tell you what, podcast audience, if you're listening and you don't want to hear some crazy ass alerts, you can fast forward for 60 seconds. I'm going to turn them on. For 60 seconds, I'm going to let these guys get their stuff out of the way because some of them have already spent.
No, he's just going to shit on my head with the turtle again.
Some of them have already spent. I'm going to turn the alerts on. We're going to let those happen. Cottontail, I didn't even know Cottontail raided in. Thank you for your raid, Cottontail.
Cottontail.
Commander Monty, thank you for the resub. Engineer, thank you for the resub. Thumbelina for the bits. Thank you, Louis P. with the resub. Ice Wolf, Lightning Hawk with the bits. Thank you. Warzarine.
I'm so positive.
Thank you.
I'm full of positive energy.
Warzarine with the prime. Broken Wolf with the resub. K.A. Knowledge with the resub. Blonde Hank, thank you for the follow. There's a Humpy
DJ,
Turtle. Yes, what?
What is wrong with you?
Oh, this is all delayed. She's not here right now. She was here earlier. Okay? She's not here now. It was earlier. I am being told that a couple of the sound alerts, Tarpy, may not have played. If I don't open it, then later I can claim ignorance, right? Oh my. Let me see if I can find the ones that you guys did with bits, because I've got a here it is. Broken Wolf played this one, I believe.
I think that anytime they
go.
include the letter D in any currency or ship, it's just bound to be misused by this podcast.
Yes, indeed it is.
True.
And
Very
then
true.
Moopsy came in with his classic go-to.
Oh my gosh, my name is Beck and I
you.
like plants and I'm a valley girl and listen to me do all the things on a Rev
It's
show.
not Rev Show. I don't know why it keeps saying that. Where's the anal glands? Okay, come on. Then you had this one from Balabom. Oh, hi, Beck. Hi.
But DJs,
What?
then corporate wanted us to say, hold our beer.
DJ,
Eat
What is
up
wrong
and
with
sight.
Okay. Yep. It's this is gonna keep happening here for just a minute. Sherlock Holmes did a Humpy Turtle. There's a Humpy Turtle, and Jules. Okay.
Oh no, poor Beck's getting whacked by the kitty.
Yeah, Humpy Turtle also getting a little spank in there. Okay, 60 seconds are up. No more. Turning them off. Boom, they're gone. Okay, thank you guys.
Perfect.
Appreciate that. See, 60 seconds. And podcast audience, that wasn't even 60 seconds in DJ time. That was like a real 60 seconds. All right, there you go.
I'm so proud of you. There's the first time for everything.
Yeah, Manx Man just did one. Manx Man just threw one in there. I'm gonna let you get yours, Manx Man.
Manx Man said, "Hold my beer."
Okay, there you go. That's it. We're done. No more. That's all I got. That's all I got right
You know,
now.
DJ, this rainbow sour strip is really good.
What's it
Ooh.
taste like?
It tastes like a rainbow sour strip.
I don't know if I would like that. I don't like sour stuff.
Do you like
Well,
Skittles?
if you don't like sour,
Taste the rainbow.
that's the logo that I submitted that they should use. They said it's been taken. Look at that. You've never had a sour strip? That guy right there.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Wait, you don't like sour things?
Oh no, that's the problem
too
to have.
That is.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Why? Why is that too bad?
Benny's host Ghost asks Griffin, where do you get that? I have hookups in the ghost community. You think that you don't think I'm a big deal in the ghost community? I am the ghost community. Let's get that right.
Meanwhile, I haven't gotten so much as a single dollar from our ghost sponsorship. How long have we been on this now? Close to a year. And
You didn't get the email about the tickets to Hawaii?
No, sure didn't.
Oh well, never mind.
Okay. Anywho, speaking of Tarpy, I'm sure you're going to want to come in and do a little bit of bingo promotion. I'm sure that's what you're going to do. We'll take a quick peek at that. You want to give us a bingo wrap up, Tarpy? Where are we at here so far? What have we been able to accomplish?
Oh gosh, way to put me on the spot. So we've done. I think we have 4 spots left on the entire board,
No.
and we are
three.
I'm
six.
counting
barely
12.
weak.
6. We need
12.
6. Where's 12?
12.
Because that's
1, 2, 3,
You-
4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. We got 6.
there's
Oh,
a
the
card or
lines are the
something, isn't there?
bingos. Yes, I know how to play bingo. I know what's going on.
Yeah, we've got
Perfect.
3.
I thought they were kitty cats if you did them.
No,
I missed the memo.
Yeah, it changed.
That was last month.
Yeah, that was last month. This month they didn't want to use the kitty cats because they said it was more hard to read. All right, it was harder to read. Hold on, before you do that, I just had a squirrel moment. I was going to read this.
You?
Yeah, sorry, a squirrel moment. I was going to read this from Pixelate. DJs, God. I know you not to be a shill. You're the most genuine person I know. But this whole ghost energy thing, I chalked up to, you just having a caffeine addiction or some kind of shtick for show. But then I finally tried it. Cherry limeade has no gosh darn business being as tasty as it is.
I'm telling you, that cherry limeade is number one with the bullet. You Pixelate, you're not the only one who feels that way.
Yeah.
That is also Bare Butt Al's favorite flavor.
Cherry
out of the
limeade.
21 now available flavors, all of which can be found in Griffin's refrigerator downstairs in his brand new gym.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice. Hey, the chat's wanting to know where Ghost Dr. Pepper is. Where's that?
It's okay. Hold on. I sense in my mind strawberries. I sense strawberries.
We've already got the strawberry bubblicious.
No. Just good old fashioned, tasty strawberry.
I do love a strawberry.
And then I sense Dr. Pepper in the distance, in the far distance.
Oh. So what you're saying
But it is there faintly.
What you're saying is that one got kicked down the road.
Yeah, I guess they probably can't get the flavor right. However, this sour strips is really fantastic. And wait until you have the new strawberry one. Oops.
It's really hard to screw with perfection. That is Dr. Pepper.
You know what Pixelate says? I'd be in trouble if they had peach, but they do. They do have peach.
They have a peach ring, but DJz doesn't like peach rings. I'm DJ. I don't like a peach ring. Said no one ever. That's like one of the best gummy candies of all time. And yet he hates on it.
I didn't hate on it.
He gave a case away. He literally gave a case away.
I did give a case away. I bought a case and I was like, ooh, this one's not
but
my
nothing,
favorite.
Still nothing does top the Welch's Ghost Grape Energy. That is still number one with the bullet. It will be, man.
So really truthfully, my favorite is now torn between Strawbango and iced tea lemonade. I really do love iced tea lemonade, man. I love
it. Ice cold iced tea lemonade Ghost.
God, it's so good. You know what? You're right, Waffly. Ameripop is pretty good too. But my favorite, I love Strawbango. Oh, you know what else? Hold on, I gotta throw another top 3 in there. Tropical mango.
Tropical mango. Everyone sleeps on that tropical mango, but it is pretty good.
I love the mango, man. The mango it's just tart enough. It literally tastes exactly like a mango. Whereas peach doesn't taste like peach. It tastes like peach candy. Okay? It tastes like peach candy.
Well, it's supposed
not peach.
to. No, just wait until you put a little bit of the Jose in that Strawbango, though. Woo-hoo.
There you go. Benny Hill says, my number 1 is pink lemonade, followed by Welch's Grape.
I love the pink lemonade. I love the pink lemonade, and they can all be found just by typing !Ghost.
That's right.
Right there in the Twitch chat, and you too will be taken to an Amazon link which will directly support and fund our show. So we thank you for that.
Yeah,
and all of your Amazon purchases, in fact.
Yeah, all of your normal everyday shopping, ! Amazon, !Ghost will take you straight there. You guys can pick up on your favorite flavors, available now for delivery and at a discount when you sign up for monthly delivery through Amazon. Subscribe and save, and all your purchases will support the show here at Talking Trek. We appreciate you for your participation.
Don't go killing yourself looking for this. You won't see it until September. Just FYI.
How does he get this stuff? I don't understand it.
I don't know.
I don't get how he does this. Anywho, listen, on the stage tonight, and I know that we're running later than expected. So now we're going to have to shorten these segments up. All right.
Well, that's because you needed a 30-minute therapy session before we started today. So
why would you bring that up? Now I got to explain. Oh, no.
No,
wait.
you don't have to explain. Everything's fine. He had a rock in his shoe. It really hurt his foot. Now he's okay. Next.
Tarpy, tell me a little bit about August bingos. Now that I got Pixelate's message, I wanted to read Pixelate's message, and that's what it was. So I squirreled away from bingos, but now I'm back. All right, Tarpy, what's going on with August bingos? It looks like we're actually having a really good time here. Looks like we're doing great.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about August bingos. How are we doing?
Given that we're a week in out of the entire month, and we have 2, 4, 6 goals left. We're doing pretty stinking good.
You know the
So
scary
thank
thing
you,
about that?
everyone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely amazing. You know what the
Like,
scary piece is?
Yeah.
There's only 6 squares left, but there's still 13 bingos somehow. Like, these
I was counting 11. Which 2 am I missing?
We're doing X marks the spot and then blackout. So
It's like cascade damage for your bingos.
Yeah, it's like now it's really, really up there, guys, because one square now is going to end up sourcing multiple bingos in some scenarios, right? So, yeah, like
so that 2 tier 10 hype trains in a single stream, that gets you
1,
the
2,
straight up and down, and then a diagonal. Yeah.
That box is going to give 2. Doing a tier 10 hype train on Studio B. Oh, that's only going to be 1 more. The tier 12 hype trains 5 times. That is going to be good for 2 bingos. It's crazy.
And we have 3 left.
When do they earn the wild card? There's a wild card or something.
You know, that's another thing. Good point, Karkin. Wild card is getting close. So I added up the bits. You guys are at 55% on bits towards getting a wild card. You're at 78% on the sub goals of getting a free square. So you guys could then just pick a square that you don't want to do, you know, and you get to mark one of those off if you hit any of these goals up here. We're 22% through the dono goal. All right, so I mean, we've still got ways to go. Not only that, but you guys can still work on the bingos. Exclamation point giveaway, a brand new command in our chat. Exclamation point giveaway if you want to donate a piece of merch to the community. We also have exclamation point throne, where we were explaining, Tarpy, I think there's a little bit of misconception on Throne. You don't have to fully fund an item. Like, I wouldn't expect anybody to ever spend like $100 or $200 on an item on Throne. That's not it. What's beautiful about Throne, not only is the privacy aspect of it, it protects your privacy, it protects my privacy, it ships stuff directly, and you don't have to worry about extra handling and all this stuff. But moreover, it allows crowdsourcing, like crowdfunding. So I mentioned this the other night. We've got 325, almost 330 people in the audience right now. If everybody went in there right now and gave $3, then that would literally clear it all out. It would clear the whole thing out. So yeah, just you don't have to do a whole item. You don't have to even do a bunch. Do $1, do $2, do $3, and that'll be really cool. Berlin says, I haven't gotten back to you about your giveaway win. No, I haven't done anything from this past week because I've been very busy not yelling at Scopely. And then I've also been very busy at work. All right, and I have had a challenging week at work. So that was part of it. That's part of why I was late tonight. That's why Griffin was joking about my therapy session. I had to just gripe for a few minutes. I had to gripe for just a couple of minutes.
For a few minutes? A few minutes?
Yeah, just, like 30 minutes about stupidity at work.
That's okay.
I've missed him, though. Haven't you guys missed him? I haven't talked to him for like a week, other than just like, sending texts and how are you? And
I've been back and forth to New York. I was in Orlando. I even flew out to LA 2 days to do a work thing. I have not been home for literally 3 weeks. It's been all I could do to log into the game, attempt to max the vengeance, and fall asleep.
Well, we have missed you. We love you dearly. I have missed you greatly, just because aside from all of this, like tonight, my therapy session, I just miss talking to my buddy.
Oh, I love you, buddy. And it's true. He's been going through a lot of hard stuff that you guys don't know about. I mean, you think you deal with stupid people and you think they've been as stupid as they can possibly be. And then they go, hold my beer.
Oh, damn it.
That's it. If you miss it one more time, I'm working for Rev. I'm going over to the Rev show.
All right. You know what? Just give me a minute. I gotta find a better button placement. Okay. I put all the buttons, all the new songs I put on buttons, but I'm clearly going to have to find better button placement. All right. I'm going to have to find a more natural way for my fingers to find the button that I want.
I got to tell you something, UltimatDJz.
Okay,
I probably watched David Letterman for 23, 24 years straight. And in those 23, 24 years, when he went like this or like
Yeah, but I need a second. I need
Not one time
second.
did Paul Schaefer and Antog Fig miss their bit, and they did their boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
He can do it at any time.
But you know what?
Anytime he can do it, and they're right there every time.
Listen, if I could just press that button, all right, and it would go, I would never miss it. But it's on a different screen than our cameras. Okay, I have it figured out here. Is it possible to run multiple Stream Decks on the same machine?
Yes.
Well, then I need another.
But don't you have a Stream Deck Ultra?
Yes, but there's pages. There's pages, and I've got the sounds on different pages than the cameras.
Well, you got 32 buttons per page to make one page Hold My Beer that goes on every single page, and that way you can just push the button and boom.
Which button do I get rid of? Which button?
Oh, Lord.
Which button do I get rid of, though? I'm using all the buttons. I'm using all the buttons. I don't know what button. I don't know what button to get rid of. I use that button all the time.
Unnecessarily whiny.
I use that button, and that's Beck's button.
Anyway, we really appreciate your support with all those bingles and your donations and your thrones. And maybe somebody can throne DJs another Stream Deck so we can have, we just need a Stream Deck with one button. Just a single button.
One button.
And then he can have a special Hold My Beer button.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? I wonder if I could use Stream Deck Mobile and just have that one button. I could just use it on my phone, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. No, I need it on a real button. I like tactile response. That's what it is.
Or maybe you could have it be one of the buttons on your stupid Rodecaster Pro 2.
How do I do that? I'll figure it out
Not
later.
today. Not today.
I'll figure it out later. Anonymous, thank you very much for dropping $25 into the studio renovation fund. Thank you very much. Everything that we've got over on the throne list is going back into the studio. Literally every item on there is going into the studio. So we thank you guys for our help with that and trying to put everything together. It's going to be great.
Including the KitchenAid stand mixer?
Yeah, I got to do content with that. I got to do content.
Does it involve feet?
I mean, it can. I can think of a couple ways to make that work. But anyway.
No.
With their. Oh, for the love of Pete. All right, listen, Jules, we got to get into some teaching here. We actually had a checklist tonight. This was supposed to start like an hour and 40 minutes ago. On the final executive producer show notes for today, Tarpy, this was pre-show. Shoot the shit on Twitch. Segment 1, 10 to 15 minutes. Showtime, 9 p.m.
How'd that go?
Well,
that needed to be tripled right from the start.
All right. It's fine. Everything is fine. We're going to get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Talking Trek Laboratory, I would like to welcome to the stage, you know him, you love him, he is the infamous Jules Verne. What's up, buddy?
Thank you. It's like a slow intro.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. There it is.
Jules Verne unraveling the why. Starships soaring
All right,
through
let's get into
cosmic
it.
dread.
So, first segment, you can do the nice fade out.
Oh.
See, you've missed Griffin's professional editing and show engineering here.
Well, you were talking.
This is
I didn't
the worst.
Fade every time.
And you received a throne gift, and you didn't even get the notification for it.
Thank you, Anonymous. Anonymous did the whole KitchenAid thing?
Mad scientist with a gleam in his eye.
Tarpy, now we get to make pasta.
Starship soaring.
You don't even have to do it by hand. That was extra nice of them.
Or by foot, which is what we were gonna do. All right.
Yeah.
By foot?
Yeah, by foot. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Talking Trek Laboratory, he is Jules Verne. What's up, buddy? Welcome into the show.
Thank you.
Slow fade.
Well, I did want to start this first segment with talking about the GS31, which has recently been acquired by our free-to-play players on this slow drip of blueprints that we were getting from that. So now that we are seeing some Tier 1, Tier 2 GS31s for free-to-play, I kind of wanted to recap what the GS31 was good for and its main loop, and then also kind of talk about its sneaky other uses. So I've concluded a link here. We're basically just going to be navigating through a spreadsheet, and then I'll just be kind of talking and actually ask you to do some things in game. You do have your game loaded, right?
Yes,
'Cause you're a
sir.
professional.
Yeah, I am a
Great,
professional.
fantastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and follow the link. This is our GS31 and Wave defense. Since those things are linked together, they're in the same spreadsheet. I'm going to go ahead and include this here in the Twitch chat as well, so you guys can have that. What I'd like you to do first is to go to the GS31, and we can kind of briefly talk about what the whole point of the GS31 refinery output is. And then we can talk about how to fuel that refinery. So the whole point for this is to give you two things: officer acquisition and ship parts. This is by far the best ship part acquisition, single source ship part acquisition in the game. It gives you a ton of rare, which is usually what you need to kind of get one of those higher tiered or higher generational ships. So your epics and your rares are going to take a lot more of those rare ship parts, or you're going to take them further into the point where they're going to need a lot of those rare ship parts. So starting off at tier 6, we're going to get some rare G6 ship parts in the hundreds, like starting at 90 and then into the hundreds. That's really great to have that source. Now, you really only get to pick one of the 4 ship types as a consistent source, but it's still pretty great to have that unless you get the prime. The other is the officer acquisition, getting you some of our Section 31 officers and some Strange New Worlds officers as well, and that increases with the tier. Moving forward, how to actually acquire, how to fuel this loop is actually going to be doing your elite solo waves. So if you don't mind clicking over to the basic wave info tab, DJs, that's going to bring you to essentially where all the payouts are for all the waves. And I have actually kind of made a little loot grid for our players here to kind of manage and see what they need to hit in order to maximize their yield. GS31 recon ships are the things that we're actually going to need. Those are only available from elite solo waves, from either the G4 wave 1 and 2, and wave 1, 2, and 3, or the G5 waves 1 through 5 and G6 wave 1 through 5. But the loot table is actually a little interesting. So in these waves, the last wave is always the most difficult and could be a big hindrance to some players trying to maximize their loop. You don't have to complete all 5 waves of an elite solo wave to maximize your rewards. What I mean is, if you are a G6 player and you can get to wave 4 in your elite solo waves, but you cannot complete wave 5, it's actually going to be better for you to actually do wave 5 of the G5 solo waves. So going down an entire generation. It is an interesting way that they've designed their loop in order to still not penalize players for not being the max in their generation right away, but giving you some leeway of which ways do I want to hit, how do I want to maximize my loot table. The recon ships are really important to maximize to get the G6 or the GS31 refinery pumping, but you also need those access keys for the other things that are going to be necessary in the Section 31 faction store. Okay. There is a couple of solo wave tips and tricks and elite waves tips and tricks in here as well. You can kind of peruse there, lots of data. I don't want to get too bogged down in there. I want to kind of focus on the ship. How does the ship help the loot? Okay. A little navigation, go back to the GS31 tab, and it's about center, and you gotta scroll down just a little bit. There's a section called When Can You Beam WD Hostiles? Yep, perfect. When can you beam WD hostiles? Now, this chart did some math based on your tier that you can actually achieve within your range, and also adding on the beam damage research node that gives you extra beam damage. So this is actually really important for G4 players because you actually have pretty low beam damage in those first few tiers. However, that research that's available right at Ops 45 is going to give you a massive bonus. What this means is you can have a tier 1 GS31 walk into that system and be able to beam 3 of those hostiles right away. That's really useful in elite solo waves because we do have more hostiles that generate in those waves than in your regular solo waves. So being able to beam some of those right off the bat, or near the end when you're starting to get a little stressed, some hostiles are getting past your main ships and they're starting to get to the center, you can beam them to kind of save that last little bit. And here's the rest of the beam requirement charts. Essentially, as a G5 player, you're looking at like a tier 4, tier 5 to actually be really good in order to beam a bunch of those ships near the end of the round. And then as a G6 player, right around 10 or 11, it really starts to shine for those purposes. But of course, the last wave, the highest hostile, those reavers, or syndicate reavers, are very difficult. So those are typically going to be extra hard to kill, particularly with the GS31 beam. So that's the main loop. The GS31 is meant to be a solo wave ship, but there's actually some other things that this ship does. One of them is you can beam players. I think that's pretty interesting. Not only can you actually cause beam damage, and if you scroll up just slightly, there's a GS31 ship info that does have a section for PvP damage, the beam damage. And this is with, I believe I did this with, or is this the base? This must be base, because you can do this plus whatever you get from your research. You can cause quite a bit of damage. Now, this is great for taking out smaller support ships that may be either in an arena combat or in a territory capture. We're talking discos and your mini ships that are just sending out with speed crews. You can also take out mantises pretty early on, which is the other type of support ship that can kind of debuff other players, which has proven a very useful tool to have the GS31 inside of arenas, because you can take out their support ships pretty quickly without having to get too close or without having to be intercepted potentially by their attack ships. So that's been really helpful, particularly because the beam, the actual board cube beam, that's actually disabled in arenas. So this is the only beam technology. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's an incorrect statement. Board cube still works. But the GS31 being able to not have to charge is actually really useful. There's another thing that I wanted to point out, and this you're actually going to have to go into your game, DJs, into the research tree. So this would be under starships. And I think the things that I wanted to point out were the PvP debuff research nodes and what they actually do. This is the very end of your starship tree. So in the top row, we have gravitational focus blast. That is damage against players, the beam damage itself. You also have gravitational shred blast. Now, this is actually pretty potent. What this does is once you have hit a player, let's say you haven't killed them. They are a very strong player. Your GS31 beam isn't that strong. Well, you're going to apply a weakened state. By then attacking that ship with some of this research completed, you actually have additional bonuses. Now, just like the Mantis, somebody can sting a player, but it's actually the bonuses that you get from the research. No, that's actually not true with Mantis. Man, I'm all over the place with fun facts. With this one, it is the bonuses that you have as a player from your research that are going to apply when another opponent has a weakened status. Now, anyone can apply that. So if you're a tier 1 GS31, you have an immediate use in an arena combat. If you're playing with players who are higher than you, who are stronger than you on your team, and you want to provide a good support role, by actually beaming them with a gravitational blast and applying that weakened state, and if they also have a bunch of research done, they're going to get a good bonus against that player. So it can give them an edge. Here, we've got the gravitational shred blast. If you take a look at the info button, you scroll all the way down, that's 125% apex shred. That's a huge amount of apex shred. So having that, particularly when we're talking about, trying to defeat a board cube with a vengeance, you're probably going to want to have that vengeance have as much tools as possible, because it's clearly not going to win unless it has all those tools. On the bottom, you also have gravitational precision, which gives you crit chance, impact, which gives you crit damage, and then also gravitational reinforcement, which gives you apex barrier. So those things are those are pretty big components to PvP battles still now. They're still very relevant. So by having somebody in a weakened status and having the player who needs to use these at a high enough level in order to actually use them, it's going to be probably a good edge. So you're free to play. You've just acquired the ship, and you're looking about trying to use an arena combat. It's too weak to really do anything in arenas, but it's got one major advantage, which is going to be helping the other players who've had a GS31 for a while in your team actually have an edge in their battles. So sneaky use. And then the last thing, I don't actually have a chart ready for you, but the GS31. Actually, let's just pull up that screenshot you had from earlier with the GS31 killing a vengeance. The big reason that this works is the GS31 has a very, very high DPR as compared to other ships in an equivalent grade. So even in G4, it's going to have a higher DPR than other G4 ships that are in there. As we're looking here, we're looking at a G6 player, an Ops 70 player, with a nearly max GS31, if not maxed, who clearly has a high DPR in order to take out an even higher Ops 70 ship. That is kind of the Easter egg, I think, of something that's a little bit hidden until you can really get it up there and start applying in PvP combat. But this is one of the stronger interceptors in the game because it has a sneaky high DPR. It does have a low shield and hull health as compared to its fellow ships. So using this crew is a great crew to, as a comparison, using a ship that is intended to kill in the first round or 2 rounds is actually really highly effective for the GS31. So there's a quick crewing tip for you for PvP battles.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that particular screenshot is showing one shot and the Vengeance didn't get a single shot off and died.
I don't know the exact firing pattern order, so they may have gotten multiple weapons off
I just
prior
don't
to the
see any
firing.
damage to.
Why you got to
You're
rub it
not
in,
wrong.
Karkin?
It may
I'm
not
just
be
rubbing it hard.
Yeah. I think all I'm saying is they may not be one shot. It may be a couple weapons and several shots because you do have a multiplication to shots. But you're not wrong that the DPR was so high that it killed the Vengeance prior to it having a chance to fire a return volley.
Okay. Moving along.
Well, and here's the thing: if you're looking at this particular screenshot, you'll notice, and again, this is in the graphics room. That Junker shot that we put in the graphics room a little bit ago at 10:11 p.m. Eastern time. What you're looking at here is obviously shot amplification and cascade by Freeman, but also take a look at her left mate right there. That's John Harrison, who is bypassing shields. That's why we see the comment in the chat. Well, there's still a lot of shields left on that Vengeance. Yeah, because John Harrison skipped all of it. All right. John Harrison skipped all the shields and allowed the potency of Carol Freeman and 7 of 9 there to just hammer straight down on the hull. And that's what happened. The DPR of the Junker was enough. If you were doing 100 or, well, I guess in this case, 80% extra damage to the hull, it was enough to sack it all out. All right. So that's exactly what happened here and why some people like Griffin are just a little bit salty about the Vengeances because this ain't the dreadnought that we all thought it was that it was going to be.
Teachings that would have been more helpful to me yesterday.
And that is your quick and dirty on the free to play Junker. It is the recap. The Junker's now available, free to play. So this is how you use it. This is our quick refresher. Thank you again to Jules and the Talking Trek Lab for preparing that for us. And hopefully this is something good and useful to you. We appreciate you watching. Please be sure to subscribe, like, click on the little bell. If you got questions, leave it down below, and we'll be sure to answer those for you. And we appreciate you watching this installment of Teaching Trek on the YouTube channel. We'll be back with more, so be sure to leave your comments and click the bell, okay? We got more coming. All right, pieces, everybody. Meow. And that's a wrap, everybody.
If you've invested money in maxing the Vengeance, you may be entitled to compensation.
Bam! See, is Cruzito here? Cruzito would be super confused right now. He's like, wait, what are you doing? That's called multitasking content right there, okay? See, podcast audience knows what's up. By the way, Tarpy, did I tell you that I got so many comments and ratings on the podcast last time when we said, hey, do you listen on podcast? And so many people sent messages and left comments and did ratings. Thank you, guys. It warmed my heart. It warmed my heart. Thank you guys for that. Tarpy, did you leave a rating on iTunes? Just asking.
No.
Tarpy, do you listen to the podcast?
So.
She doesn't listen to the podcast.
No.
That's okay.
No, I don't. I don't listen to
That's
here
because
people I know.
That's because you mute her the first hour of the podcast.
No, never. She hasn't been muted
too.
all night. She hasn't been muted. Not once. Not all night. Nope. I learned my lesson. I got smacked on the hands. I smacked on the hands. All right. Listen, I believe if I am looking at this correctly, we are going to. Oh, we just took an ad break. Just took an ad break. Whoopsies. Sorry about that. Yikes. Paulo says, who listens to a 4-hour podcast with 30 minutes of useful info? Well, Paulo.
Ouch.
Jeez.
That was mean.
That was a little bit mean. Okay.
Well, Paulo, that's probably 30 minutes more useful info than you have in your podcast. So what about that?
Well, it's just like the news. You know, there's lots of banter, and there may be 30 minutes of something that's actually useful.
Seth says he has context on the Junker screenshot. Well, what's your context? He said it's amusing DJ sharing a picture with no context when someone with the whole context and the log is in the chat. Well, you can answer. You can say what you want to say. I mean, it doesn't,
we didn't
doesn't
see your
really
name
matter.
on the screenshot, Seth.
Does it actually matter? I mean, really, does it actually matter? Should this actually happen? The answer to that is no, this should not happen. Now, there's a couple of reasons for it. Obviously, DPR is one, and then John Harrison's another. But I saw this in chat also. Below deck slots, probably. All right. Junker probably has 6 below deck slots. The Vengeance at that tier has what, 2? Maybe 3?
What tier is it? It has 3.
Yeah, it's got 3 below deck slots. All right. Forbidden Tech, Chaos Tech, all that can make a difference. But, you know, again, that is a Vengeance. And if we really want to be super clear about it, I'm pretty sure Scopely actually put out their own blog that says that this is supposed to be, by tier 3, it is supposed to be undefeatable by anything in the game. It is supposed to be
Also
the
put up
absolute
blog.
Do what?
They also put up a blog with PvP crewing advice that used
That has PvE officers. I know. Wasn't that cute?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're the most reliable source of PvP data.
So cute. It was cute. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. If you haven't seen it yet, it's at StarTrekFleetCommand.com. They put a where is it?
Could they have just put the wrong
Mastering-
officers and then someone gave them the list of the names and it's like, whoops, I grabbed this one instead of this one?
Yeah,
Or is it
I
just
don't know.
like,
Listen, I you know,
No.
if you wanted to spend a couple of minutes on this, Jules, and then we can take a break. This whole article has me scratching my head just a little bit. You know, I had mentioned on a previous show that, you know, there's just some things that just kind of feel like they have a little bit of a disconnect right now. You know, just the left hand ain't talking to the right hand and stuff like that. And so then we look at a couple of these screenshots and we see Janeway Doctor and Jason Nesmith on a Vengeance going
No
up.
way.
No, I'm serious. Take a look, bro. Take a look at your screen. Okay, this is it right here, folks. This is 7 of 9, and then Garrick over here, and Gold Ducat on the side. Okay,
Yeah.
And yes, it's also punching down 4 tiers. There's that, but I mean, that being, I'm not as concerned about the punching down 4 tiers thing. All right, because that can
This
happen.
is also in the section that says cloaking, which is securing the first strike advantage. So I'm not sure they'd be able to punch down 4 tiers without that cloak.
What?
He's being facetious.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to say that sounded way too serious to actually make sense. Okay. Whew, yeah, that was startling me there just for a second. But then you come out and you take a look at some of these others. Where was another crew? There was a below deck screenshot in here somewhere as well.
They deleted a lot. There was some edits from the original.
Oh, golly. Well, they did, didn't they?
Speaking of the cloak, you know how you
PvE
get the cloak
crews.
for that Vengeance?
Yeah, you got to hit what, tier 10 within like 10 days or something, or 15 days?
Well, you can't just buy it. There's not a solo leaderboard. There is a regional leaderboard running for the one person who spends the most of those modules that you have to gamble in order to win.
Yes.
They will be the one who gets the free cloak on it.
The free cloak. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Interesting
There's
here.
Something sneaky. There's something sneaky in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking. Okay, I see what you're looking at.
Yeah, the godsend procs in this battle log right here, which means this is not a. I don't understand this. It's not supposed to. There's PvP procs up here, but then there's a PvE proc, which makes me feel like this is not even a real battle log. Right?
Well, no, the godsend does actually. It shows up in every single battle log, but I do believe that it doesn't actually work in the battle log. It's just a false trigger.
Okay.
I will say though, it's interesting that Infiltrator, Tuvok, and Icheb were below decks because if you read their abilities, it does say if on a ship with no state. However, the very first. Okay, if on a ship with no state, they do not have a state.
Yeah,
they do not get
so you know what? This is further
PvE crewed.
That's right. This is further evidence that this whole battle log, this whole thing, is a PvP crew attacking a PvE crew because they didn't have a PvP state applied. There was no assimilate. There was no PvP for hull breach or burning. All right, and that is why Tuvok and Icheb procced here. Because
DJ, take it back. You said those officers would be good for nothing when they came out. And look here, right here on the official blog battle log. They're just whooping it up.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, it is so impressive and so wildly useful that these officers were combined with a PvP crew to cloak and attack a PvE ship 4 tiers below. And we're proud of that.
To be fair to the blog author, I do run into people on my server who crew like this for PvP all the time. So it can happen.
It's just in. Kill First has confirmed the godsend weapon damage has no conditions, which means it works in every scenario.
No way! Really?
Including against armadas, including against invading entities, including against assaults.
And
what's an assault?
PvP? Does it work in PvP?
Clearly.
It has no conditions.
No way.
Go out and max that godsend, everybody. Max that godsend.
Well, I did want to move forward to my next pre-segment on our script that we've been completely ignoring so far.
No, I'm totally watching the script. I'm watching the script. Everything is great on the script. We'll do this one and then we'll take a quick break. This one be quick.
Took a break.
No, I've got to take a podcast break. I know that we took a Twitch break. I got to take a podcast break, but that's all right. This one will take us at least 20 minutes, maybe 30 or 45. It's fine. It's fine. What do you got? What do you got, Jules?
Here, I'm just gonna copy paste this so you have the list.
He sent you another copy of the TPS report in case you didn't get it the first time.
I got it the first time. I see it.
This is just the shorter. This is the shorter version. Okay.
Okay. Very good.
Sneaky quality of life improvements.
I'm
we have to put out a video, but I did want to point out some of these so that you can actually show them off. The first one, event cards now have an info button.
Yeah, they do.
Look at that.
That's so nice. I actually like this a lot. This was something they did not announce. I saw it, I guess, a couple of days ago. As a matter of fact, I brought it up in our dev chat. I thought, what are you doing? What did you do?
Jules Verne killed me because he sent you another copy of his format because you have no clue what's happening on your. Got another copy of it.
I knew what was happening. I saw it. I've got the whole script. I've got the whole run of show.
Okay, go ahead.
Right here in front of me.
He's got it. He was just
yes, I did. I did just fall off my chair. I was laughing that hard. I'm sorry, Jules. Go ahead.
Yeah. So on the event cards, audience, if you're in podcast, all right, you can't see the screen, but on the event cards, you're now going to see in the little info button, a little letter I at the top of your event cards. By clicking on that, that will actually open up kind of a pop out scoring card, which is amazing. And by the way, it puts all the boxes. So like if you were looking inside and you had traditionally inside the event card and you say you had 3 or 4 boxes down at the bottom, All right. When you open this thing up on the inside, you're going to see all of the scoring mechanics all in one pop-out box. This is awesome. It is fantastic. Plugster says, I never noticed it. Well, it just got introduced on Tuesday. And so it's only a couple of days old, but this is a great one. I noticed this one pretty much right away. And I mentioned in dev chat, this is something that we should celebrate. This is great. This is good stuff. Nobody knew. Literally nobody knew. The UI team just did it, which is great. All right. I'm sure somebody over there knew that they were working on it, or somebody had somewhere had approved somebody to work on it. Literally nobody knew. Nope. Nobody knew. Okay. Ops didn't know. Comms didn't know. Marketing didn't know. All right. The patch notes team didn't know.
Were they hacked?
Maybe. All right. Maybe Ripper did this. That would be, I know, some nice things, always a secret. Shh. Another beautiful QoL thing missed in the patch notes. Sec, that's not all. That's not all. Jules, what else do we have? Listen, there were actually a few really, really nice Ninja QoL updates in this patch. Jules, what was another one?
Indeed. So let's go into the artifact gallery and click on any maxed artifact you may have.
Oh, looky there. What is this button? What is this, chat? Going into any maxed artifact for the podcast audience, and again, screenshots of this stuff, 11:06 p.m. Eastern Time in the graphics room, you're going to see a new button that says Convert Excess Shards. You know, this one reminds me.
That's not the best thing about it. That's not
Okay.
even the best thing about it. Great, you've given me another place to convert. What is the actual best thing about that conversion button?
Well, it slides.
I know.
It slides beyond 50. It's a slide.
It doesn't have a max.
All.
Yes.
It's a slide all.
Yes. Griffin has it. This is the first time that their client has allowed to max a slider. Do you remember when the PC mod allowed you to max a slider for Alliance donations?
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
That was the first time we've seen it.
DJz remembers.
I do remember that.
You hear that, Cruzito?
You're
I got it
still
right,
in the lead,
Cruzito.
I may or may not have donated on accident about 350 million lat to my alliance.
That's funny.
As a matter of fact,
your alliance, don't you?
already maxed.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was worse because our alliance
that's
was
not-
already
that's not good.
max level.
That's not good.
Yeah, 350 million lat. I'm pretty sure I did it on screen by accident. Lord says, how was that an accident? Because I was on PC and I was trying to do the slider and I was used to the 50 slider. I was used to the 50 slider because of my game client on my phone. So I just slid the slider out thinking it was 50 and it was like 350 or something ridiculous. And because I did it here on screen, I was trying to finish a Unity event. So I needed 50 helps and I did like 600. And I spent 350 million lat. I was sick to my stomach. As a matter of fact, I'm still kind of sick to my stomach now. I am down to 7 million lat because I blew everything going to Op 70. So imagine if I had 350 extra lat laying around, Karkin. But nope, I'm lat broke. I have none of it. Cruzito says, wait. What we need to have is personal responsibility on our gameplay. It wasn't my fault. Okay, yeah, it actually
You
was.
probably opened a ticket to get the stuff back, too.
No, I've never asked for anything back when I do something stupid. There was one time I did ask if they would reopen a store so I could spend my event store loot. Remember when I didn't spend my event store loot?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
There was that. I didn't ask
I would
for my
love to
laptop.
reset my whip. Can you guys put my whip back to tier 1, level 1?
Wait,
I don't want it to be as. I want my whip to be lower.
Why do you want
that.
your whip
Why
to
are
be
there
lower?
crickets every time he talks? Where are you in the swamp?
He's in the woods.
Yeah.
All right, now
Oh, wow,
Spock
that's pretty
says,
good.
why don't all the artifacts have that? So this is only going to be on artifacts that are already maxed, right? Because you're going for remnants. So if you go to an artifact that is not maxed, for example, you're not going to have it because there are no excess shards. Okay, there's no excess shards, so it's the overflow remnant mechanic that you can just click one time and boom shakalaka, there are your remnants. If you're going to do it with a temporal artifact, same kind of thing. I've got some extra shards there, can redeem those, and it's going to provide me with. Feel like that was actually not supposed to happen right there. Maybe.
Well,
Which one was that?
That was the DTI plaque, bro.
you have that maxed?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's only
good
ones
for you.
that are in the temporal restoration.
Oh, okay.
I think it may only be those ones. That's interesting to see.
Oh, yeah.
though.
Okay.
There you
IFR did give me temporal disruptors, but yeah, DTI plaque kind of. You know what? That's probably makes sense because that one's in the DTI store. So that's fine.
Well. Actually, I will say generations 1 through 3 of the temporal artifacts use disruptors at some point during their upgrade process.
Yeah.
Whether it's unlock, upgrade, or even just for the remnants alone. But generations 4 through 6, that plaque being one of those, doesn't use disruptors at all in any of its process. So it does make sense that why would its overflow then be disruptors, a currency that it never used?
For sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, true, the artifact remnants, it never used either. But the point is that the disruptors have a very limited lifespan for generations only 1 through 3. And we're like on 6. If you include mastery, it's 7.
Well, and don't forget, I mean, we foresaw this with the whole DTI store in the very beginning when they were talking about the limits on cooldowns for the DTI disruptor farm. And then, I kind of hinted that mastery was going to come, or at least there was going to be a mechanic that came. We knew then, Jules, that temporal disruptors had met their end date. They were expired at that point.
Correct.
We will never see another new artifact that uses those simply because of the farm that now exists. So temporal disruptors are a currency that will not be used again in any new content. So, but that was to be expected. Once we got the farm back and we freed DTI, woo! It indeed served its original purpose. That is correct. Yes, thank you. It did. It did. It served its original intent. Thank you, Voltron.
So
well played,
moving
sir.
into the other quality of life. Now, those are the two that were not stated at all in their patch notes.
Mm-mm.
But here's some ones that were kind of vaguely stated. Do you have any gift chests you can open right now?
Maybe 1 or 2.
Oh, only 43. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
wait,
the
these?
actual
Wait.
not those. Yes,
down
the
here.
loot chests.
Oh, yes. So I've got 72. Wait. What, loot chest or gifts?
Loot chests.
Oh.
Loot.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
This
many
this
buttons.
is the quality of update. It used to be 50, then it was increased to 100 that you can pull per PvE chest or pull amount. Now it's unlimited up to the full 1,000 limit of chests.
This is great, especially with all the auto farming that we've been doing here lately. All right. As a matter of fact, this morning I had 400 and some chests, and it was so nice because I clicked it one time. Limit of 1,000 chests. Now, there is still a limit of 1,000 chests. After 1,000 chests, the oldest chests are replaced with the newest ones obtained. So you definitely want to still claim those, but at least you don't have a million clicks. Well, in this case, 10 clicks to claim them all. It's just one. Okay? It's just one. So, yeah, very, very nice QoL adjustment right there. Again, saving some clicks.
The next one, if you go into, let's just choose the DTI faction store. It doesn't really matter. It's basically any faction store, but the DTI faction store has a couple good examples. One of the things that they did is there's a little banner underneath the icons, the images that actually has like the unlock. So if we're looking at the parts for the relativity, you see tier 9 under yours, but that space was also where they put quantity. Now, they didn't have the quantity visible outside until this most recent patch, where they actually put the quantity on top of the image asset there. So this is now they're kind of being a little more transparent with the amount that's in these bundles without having to click into them. And remember that even on the PC client, you can't actually click into these bundles once you've claimed them.
Yeah.
So having that quantity on the outside is really useful, either when sharing
Very
screenshots or just knowing what am I going to get next. So little tiny thing, but I like it.
Yeah, as a quick reminder, you'll note that, for example, on the Syndicate XP, they were not modified. They don't have this banner down here at the bottom. So Syndicate XP was not modified. So you can actually see it's a subtle change, but you can actually see a side-by-side comparison here of what they changed. 36,750 Syndicate XP was unaltered, but over here, for example, the DTI security access cards, they moved that quantity up because they labeled what that chest was going to do, or what it was, or how you got it, or what the bonus is, et cetera, whatever it is, tier 9, quantities, all this other stuff. That was what they've put into that banner. So really nice little change there. You're right. Absolutely.
And then the similar change in the Syndicate tree itself. They've now taken the check mark off of the previously completed levels, so you can see all the levels. It's not really that useful for a day-to-day player, but for for the group of people that listen to this podcast, who watch your stream, we tend to be the people who teach the rest of our alliance. So if they've got a question, now we can quickly reference our Syndicate tree and be like, oh yes, that was at level 48.
Yeah, milestone 32. Absolutely.
Exactly. And then the last one, you probably won't be able to see this, but when you send a ship out to auto grind XP, and this is also going to be true with miners being sent out to mine, and they will get automatic ship XP as they go out. Well, before, when you sent it out, it's basically locked at that ship level until it returns to base, regardless of how much ship XP it's earned. Once you return to base, it immediately goes up to that maxed amount of ship XP, right? So let's say you've gained 60 million, you went up 10 levels. Well, you would only see the level you were at before and not the level you actually are at. The small improvement is that it will show you now, as you're gaining XP, it will actually increase the level of the ship while it's out there. Sort of helpful. I don't know if this actually means on the back end, does the ship ability also come into effect, particularly if it's a combat ability? So like if you send out, any sort of combat ship with ship ability that is leveled by its actual ship level, will it actually increase that combat ability while it's out there? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure.
I actually believe that was tested by Stewie and Lube. The ship abilities are still locked until a dock. All right. So really all that we're able to see here is essentially the XP, and I don't know how much it's going to take for me to mine to actually be able to show that off. But as far as abilities and things like that, that does indeed you clicked on the wrong one here. That does indeed stay the same until it is docked. So, for example, we can see here 68,296 is the XP. If I come back into it again, well, it's still there. I'm not exactly sure how much you mine in order to get some stuff. I don't know how quickly it runs.
A lot.
Yeah.
It'll take you a while.
Well, I think I just got a little bit of something, though, didn't I? Because I had it at an even.
Well, you did, but you need to go beyond the amount of XP that you need for the next level, if that makes sense, in order for it to show that it actually went up by a level. You're not going to get 1 million XP from 1 minute of mining.
I want 1 million XP for 1 minute of mining.
Oh, God.
That's what I want. I want it now.
I do have a couple questions in the chat. Domo and Rico ask, does it open up the lower deck slots while you're out there?
It does not open the lower deck slots?
I'm asking the question. I actually don't know.
Okay, Sugar Red says ship abilities, below deck slots stay locked until you dock.
Either way. You can't,
all right, so we're going with
filters on until you dock anyway.
You could do the grayed out
slots.
Yeah, you could leave the grayed out slot. Yeah.
Oh, true.
But do we actually have the formula for mining XP? Do we have the formula for quantity?
Yeah, Quasel actually made it, so let me go find it.
And I'll apologize in the podcast audience while we're looking at this. Just for
I put it in the Twitch chat and I pinned it there.
Ooh, boom, shakalaka. All right, let's pull that up. See what we got here.
Does it take into account the new research?
The new research?
Mining XP?
Yeah, we're talking about mining XP, not mining speed, but just the ship
Isn't there
XP.
a mining XP research with the new ship? Am I wrong?
No.
Oh, there.
I thought there was.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
there
that's
is.
combat ship
That's the
XP.
Prime and the $20 battle pass.
That's right, combat ship XP. So that would be that's going to be like the XP earned in battle.
Not mining. That
Not
was my
mining.
mistake.
Yeah. An XP Prime.
There's a Prime for extra mining XP, not related to the
No
ship.
way. There is, and it's in the battle pass.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep.
Duh.
Exactly.
Okay, my fault.
Where is
Any
that Prime?
updates?
What tree is it in?
Question. We'll take a look in the battle pass
Oh,
to see
it's
if
a
we can link to
galaxy.
it.
Very early in the galaxy.
Okay. So what we're looking at in the podcast audience, sorry, we were looking for this new Prime that's in the battle pass. You look in the galaxy research tree. There it is, right on your first screen. It's column number 7, top row. Increases the amount of ship XP gained from mining. It says 100%. But if we look at this calculator, I'm sure that it's going to be one of the 100% kind of in here. Well, no, wait a second.
That's mining speed.
This
The
is
next
mining
tab
speed.
is XP. But
Oh,
so the next tab is XP, and here's the thing: the XP actually changes depending on what material you have.
oh boy.
So how much XP you get, and I believe that this is per minute.
This looks complicated.
Yeah, so every single material type that you can mine has a different XP available to it.
Why would they make it so complicated, man? Why would they make it so complicated? I mean, I never mind. I retract the question.
think
Do they
they're
at least
missing-
balance out the amount that you
They're
can
missing a
mine
couple things.
over a certain number of time equals the same thing, which is what they were trying to go for?
I mean, I guess it depends on your mining rate. Now you have to factor in how fast can I mine anomaly on a ship versus mining 6-star materials in the same ship.
Oh,
It's going to
boy.
be different.
Yeah,
So mining Trillium is a really low number, but if you put the protector out there, your protector is going to gain XP really fast. But you're not. really
Cruzito
gonna be
points out
putting-
just go for lat, then
push
you're
it
done.
there.
Yeah, but maybe
Yeah,
you
right.
don't want to mine lat with. Yeah, I guess you could. Could you put the no? Yeah, mine lat with any ship with the Ferengi whip, and then it's an instant
Done.
max. Right?
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Sounds like
Oh,
we have some
Cruzito.
testing to do.
Put the whip on any ship and go mine traditional latinum, not condensed
That's
latinum.
exactly right.
Traditional latinum. Whip. I don't know. The whip is not only the
only
feature.
works on the Fisha.
I don't think
No.
it does, dude. I used the whip on the Voyager, I remember.
Sure, absolutely. The whip is not dependent on the Fisha.
All right, hang on. Now I'm getting
Concentrated
confused.
lat is.
Now I'm getting confused. What did I use the whip for? Was the whip for cargo space? Maybe that's why I was using it.
No.
Yeah, you used it for the other boosts, but this lightning quick speed
The
is only for
speed
the Fisha.
was, yeah,
On C-lat.
mining rate, Fisha, and only C-lat. No,
It
increased
is?
mining rate.
No.
Increased mining rate 900%.
Yes.
But that's just basic mining rate. That's-
900% isn't big though.
Is it not big?
Well, that's not 52,000 big.
Who has 52,000?
Me.
The other ability in the Fisha.
I see the first one, concentrated latinum on the Fisha. So that's not the one we're talking about, but we're talking about increasing mining rate. This is going to be good for any ship on any material.
Yeah.
Skippy says 900% is nothing, though.
Speaking
Well,
of
yeah,
really
so-
high mining rates, should we talk about the Squall?
Let's do that on the other side of this break because that's gonna bring out conversations.
That's going to bring out segment 3.
Yeah, that's going to bring out segment number 3, which is going to happen right on the other side of the break. We're going to take a very quick break so that we can get
Wait,
a
we have
word
a
in.
format?
Yes. Yeah, I told you
No.
there was a run of show script. I was looking at it, even though you laughed at the fact that Jules sent it to me twice. But, I mean, I can see it, and I'm reading it. See, segment number 3, SNW Part 2 content, Serene Squall.
We'll get you another
Estimated-
copy of the format. It's okay.
Okay, it's fine. I got this. We're going to take a very quick break.
Send
and
him
when we we return, we're going to get into some of this ARC's content, the Serene Squall, some of the hazard stuff, and some of the strategies to the loop. And we might even try to condense everything into a nice, tidy, little quick and dirty for you. It comes up on the other side of this break. My name is UltimatDJz, and this is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. We'll return right after these words. Commanders, in the vast universe of Star Trek Fleet Command, understanding the rules of engagement is crucial. At PvPtarget.com, our comprehensive guide ensures you navigate battles with honor. Learn the importance of protected cargo and why attacking a ship under its limit is deemed by some as an act of war. Discover which vessels are classified as warships and what ranges of ships you can attack. Find tips on crewing, mining, and the battle triangle, and so much more. Equip yourself with knowledge to engage responsibly. Visit PvPtarget.com and become the commander your alliance deserves.
Yo, drop that beat from Deep Space Nine. Whiskers twitching, claws in line. From Ops 1 to 70, he's got the stat. Make way, y'all. It's the STFC cat. Scratching on consoles, sitting on the deck, spinning star maps with a paw on your tech. He ain't no pet, he's a feline force, giving bass, cracking tips like it's his course. Chilling in Studio B, laser eyes glowing, fleet chat exploding, NDJs knowing he's the furball of war and the king of the grind. All the captains whisper, this cat's got mine. He's ultimate DJ, pause on command, typing catnip codes with the master plan. From lap to tokens, he's got the law, dropping news like a warp core roar. Claw click beats, he's the feline king, spinning space hits while the war bells ring. In the galaxy of chaos, you do the math. The smartest one here is taking a bubble bath. He don't need no ship, just the captain's chair, shedding knowledge bombs into the void air. Tuna on his breath, wisdom in his purr, dropping patch notes while he licks his fur. Got spreadsheets for days, event tips hot, knows which arc's lit in, which is not. While y'all raging Discord, throwing shade, DJ naps in sunlight like he just got paid. He's ultimate DJ, ruler of stars, smoking all the trolls with his meme avatars. Every alliance bows when he drops a track. He's the reason why them Borg don't come back. Whisker strong, he's the cosmic sage with the laser pointer in a battle cage. If you hear a meow in your ops room chat, prepare yourself, that's the DJ cat on him.
He walks alone
wow, that's hot.
no man goes through wormholes wide and space-time flows.
evening, Cruzito said. Who did that? Jeff did.
Meow.
Jeff Gaines
Engaged.
made that. Oh, my God. It is hot. Hotness. That is the hotness right there. A banger. Absolutely. Absolutely incredible. Thank you. Jeff. Oh, man. It's good. Whew. Hotness right there. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back into the show. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. I am UltimatDJz. Griffin stepped away. He'll be back in just a moment. We've got on our stage with us from the Talking Trek Laboratory, your chief educator. All right. He is Jules Verne, assisted by the folks over in the Talking Trek Lab. We've got Tarpy on the stage, Putz, Matters, all throwing in their science and expertise of the game because I have none. But they got you all figured out. All right. Jules, how you doing, man? Welcome in. Is this Serene Squall all that it's cracked up to be? Listen, when we looked at it on Tuesday, I'm not going to lie, I didn't think it was horrendous. I mean, honestly, the loop is what it is. It's not the best loop ever. It's not the worst loop ever. I like the payout. The ship looks like it's going to give me some benefit eventually. I don't know if it's something that I'm going to pay for. Maybe I'm missing it. Let's take a look at the Serene Squall. What are some of its benefits? What are some of the cons associated with this ship? And is it something that you're recommending to players to engage with early here inside Flashpoint Part 2?
I mean, what I will say is that we can take a look at some of the data, some of the grind, and how to get through it. Then we're going to later on talk about, well, what's it all for? What's its actual value? What's its payout? What's its future value? Since Tier 1 may not look very attractive, but we can take a look at some future value for players. So one thing I wanted to do, and I'm just actually going to give you an updated chart here in a second, is take a look at the grind itself, because that's really what players who have now bought the ship are going to ask. Like, how do I do this ship? How do I get through its loop specifically? So new chart in the circle. If you don't mind popping this up on your screen.
Chart. Which one? The very, very bottom one, the one you just sent?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. Let's take a look here.
So this is buried in the spreadsheet if you needed to reference this later, but I figured it would just be easier to get you to bring the screenshot up this way. So what we're looking at is the mining grind time. Now, I know you don't want to look at double chests, but we are min-maxers around here, so we need to have both data points on here. You are probably going to look at the hours to one chest because you hate mining. Other players may love mining or may just say, hey, it's this thing I got to do, so here are my hours to two chests. What I've done is I have actually mapped, there's 19 systems and there's 18 tiers. So I just decided, hey, tier 1 should exist in the level 33 system and you can just go up from there. That is not strictly true. As a G6 player, I can definitely either access a higher mining node by being able to summon or do other things, and we'll talk about how to actually do that later. Or I may be able to hit a hostile that's higher because I have more combat buffs. But this is just a very simple look at the loop as if you were starting as a G3 player and progressing through the ship as you're progressing through ops. That's how I did this comparison, just for background of how I did that.
And for
what this chart is showing you.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention, for those in the podcast audience, what we're looking at here, and this chart will be in the graphics room, but there is a great deal of data here, a lot of which is, for example, in summary, showing that the ship does improve with tier. But I see a big problem here, and you talked about this past Tuesday. The big problem here looks to be in node size, right? We are mining more. We are reducing our mining grind as we tier this ship. The problem is, look here. If it takes 6 hours of mining, all right, let's just look at the Von Dexen system, okay? That's the level 64 system, roughly tier 15 ship. Tier 15 ship,
Yep.
All right? Takes 6 hours of mining to get your double pull, yet you are going to drain a node in 12 minutes in that system. Now, let's do the math on that. 12 minutes to drain a node, you need 6 hours of mining. How many times we go cycle that node? That's a disgusting number.
There is a trick. There is a trick that I must say, because we are going to talk about Serene Squall. We're doing a real teaching here. I have to tell you the trick. Here's the trick.
Please tell me the trick. No, bro.
If you're on a 0 node,
it's not working. It's not working. Disproved. Matters was wrong. Matters had to sit down and be wrong. Matters was wrong. Matters.
You are wrong. Just sit down and be wrong. You are wrong.
It's not working.
What's not working?
If you are on a 0 node, and you're attacked by the hostile, it is not resetting the node, bro. It's not doing it. I don't know if Yarda's behaving differently, but I actually zeroed a node the other day. It did not reset. And then I got video evidence from a couple of others. Jeefboo says it is after the second hit. Multiple hits?
Okay, hold on. You've skipped past context here. Here's the context. Hold on, because there is a lot other problems with this strategy, and it does not fix the problem, the core problem, but it is maybe a small canary in the coal mine here. If you're on a node and it zeros, then you're hit by a hostile, there's a high chance that it will reset the node and allow you to continue to mine it until you drain it again. Now, in many cases, it has been proven to actually allow someone to mine completely overnight until they fully max their cargo and they have a bunch of hostiles killed. However, there's a lot of reasons why that won't continue to work. A, it doesn't work in the first place, as you have pointed out. B, your attacker stops coming. And that can be caused by somebody else actively hitting your chaser, or that chaser being killed by a rogue GS-31 beam, which, by the way, can kill hostiles that are not even in the system. They're outside the boundary of the system, meaning you could be parked at the very edge, meaning every hostile cannot be poached by anybody else. That GS-31 can still do it. And even more than that, the GS-31 may not even know it's doing it. It may not even be intentional. So there's a lot of reasons why this strategy isn't the winner. This isn't the reason why we can still max nodes. It's still going to be a problem. So I just wanted to point out there is a possibility that you can continue to do that. And of course, Ricksbreaker also points out that automated defense, which gives you an edge against those chasers, that actually has a time limit on it too. So you can't sit there for, let's say, tier 1, you can't sit there for 13 hours straight. It's not possible, because once your automated defenses go down, you may still lose to that chaser. So there's going to be a little bit of a balance between what size node are you going to sit on? Are you going to try to get all the way up to the level 50 system, which has a 10 million node, as an early player? If you're a G5 or G4 player, you can still get there pretty easily with your disco, or even trying to get your warp range bonuses on that ship. But you may not be able to kill that hostile, which means you still may have to recycle that node. Are we watching a video that you've gotten downloaded?
Yes, I'm watching a video. All right. We can see in this video that our cargo is not full. The node is 0. I got attacked here. I go to a 0 node. It is still 0, bro. I am not mining. I'm not mining nothing. Okay? Make me very upset. Very upset. Now, I didn't pay attention to any more hostiles if it would take more. But I mean, this is proof positive. It's not working, like, at least not 100%.
Which is why that should not be a response that Scopely gives us as a reason to not increase node size. I said, oh, well, you've got a tool here. The mechanics of the game have solved this problem for you. It is not true. It has not solved the problem. It is a nice benefit if it works, but the problem is if it doesn't work 100% of the time, we still have a massive problem, which is resetting the nodes.
Yeah, and right here you've got it. We can clip this. We can send it. For those of you in the live studio audience, if somebody wants to grab this, we can send it right over. Boom, right here's the evidence, okay? At least evidence that it is not a proven, reliable mechanic, all right? I am going right back there. That node did not reset. So
nor do I believe that this content was designed with that mechanic in mind. I believe they made the node sides the way that they were without knowing that this is something that players are going to have to depend on. So we are still going to be pushing for, and I believe we have been in dev chats, pushing for a larger node size by at least 10x. Yeah. Minimum 10x on a lot of these node sizes. And I would actually push for even higher than that.
You
so
know,
that is your mining grind time.
Biggest,
go
biggest
for
thing
it.
is, and honestly, I'm okay with even larger. Like I think 10x makes sense for them if they're looking for a tangible number, but I do agree that having the larger node size doesn't do anything negative to this loop at all. All right, nothing negative. If anything, it makes the mining better. You've got a high protected cargo, so you're going to be able to take home more. But you're also making it possible for hunters to get a little bit. And actually, I wrote this up, and Jules, I don't know if you saw this comment or not. I don't know what room I put it in, but there was something that I kind of mentioned when I was making the pitch for this thing to go up, which was essentially, let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Here it is. This was in reference to the announcement where they had removed the Tier 1 refinery from players. All right. I had actually mentioned in here, and this is all part of my feedback report. I'll just read this to you here real quick. This was in response to the article where they said, to prevent confusion, we're going to make that refinery not appear. As a matter of fact, Griffin's back. I don't know if you got this announcement. Let's go full context here, Griffin. I'm going to read you the whole thing, okay? To reduce confusion, we actually talked about this in the show the other night. Hey, PWG, what's going on? Yes, I'm streaming to YouTube, and it's not crashing. I actually have some information on that. I did some changes in the studio. I've been doing a lot of upgrades. I'll tell you about it. To reduce confusion, the Epic Transigen bundle will now only appear in the Transigen refinery after you own the Serene Squall. Previously, it was visible. Before unlocking the ship, despite Epic Transigen only being obtainable from Serene Squall accessible systems, which is not accurate. Not accurate. Okay? That being said, I wrote, to anyone involved, I believe this announcement should be walked back. We praised this in playtesting and in pack, and this was like the Protector and the Eviscerator, in which you gave non-ship owners the chance to start engaging and feeling like a part of the loop. The fact is, they could earn one strong box pull every 2 days, or strategically, honestly, the better move for them was one artifact bundle every 8 days. This does not break the economy. It doesn't affect the loop. It doesn't break the bank. If anything, it shows off what the ship is capable of refinery-wise at higher tiers. It could possibly motivate players to engage more with tiering the ship to see the artifact payouts because, honestly, the artifact payouts get larger and easier as you tier the ship. A taste every 8 days is worth that kind of marketing expense. Not to mention, game design actually did a decent job in making hunting the overcargo challenging enough that it's not rampant and blind. Unless you're actually playing intelligently, you're not going to be able to hunt cargo. This was brilliant design, but still satisfied the cargo hunter portion of your player base. Removing the refinery just removed their will to even try, and you've lost their interest in the Squall if they're a typical low-spend or free-to-play player, instead of tempting them with the taste test. For the record, this morning, I was hit over cargo. I took home over 400,000. My opponent got 57,000. I'm honestly satisfied with that. It does not give me a feeling of loss. And my opponent got a huge win. Give him that win. He earned it. In summary, please reconsider turning this back on. Some players may be confused, but I don't feel that we should penalize the player base over what was actually built as solid game design when all that was simply needed was a little communication with some player education. Sincerely yours, UltimatDJz. I should have played music behind that. I had a button. I should have pressed the button.
Hey DJ.
Yeah, Pots.
Can I TLDR that?
Sure. Yes, because you probably are in that group, right? TLDR for me.
Right? Hashtag free putts.
Oh. I was getting ready to say, somebody clip this wonderful TLDR from an affected player so we can send it to the overlords. That's not going to matter. That's not going to mean anything.
Yeah, if you clip it, it's going to sound like Putz is for free now.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh. Listen.
All right, let's go. Let's move on in the Squall teaching because I do have a lot more to teach on.
I'm confused. Count DeVille, you say it doesn't spark joy? What doesn't spark joy? Hunting over cargo? I think Putz would argue with you. All right. Read it again with music. Skippy, weren't you the one telling me to move on just a little bit ago? You were like, okay, you're beating the horse. Move on. All right. Yeah, no, listen. And IJ, by the way, does have the bug that is bothering him. If you get warped home with 0 cargo, you will experience a sense of loss in that particular area. Yeah, don't necessarily disagree. We'll talk about that in the bugs list here coming up in a little bit. Jules, what else do we have on the Serene Squall? What is making this loop worth it or not?
Well, I want to talk about the other loop. So this is loop number 6 is mining this epic transigen, but loop number 7 is also being attacked by the hostiles that are in there. And that has actually a different grind time if we're following the same tier match to level match. Okay, so if we take a look at the Squall bonus, you actually get a massive loot bonus, both against the Suliban hostiles that exist in the regular transigen, that's the common, uncommon, and rare transigen spaces, but also against these epic transigen, the stealth ships. So multiplying all of the bonuses with the base and adding on the chest, and then you kind of take that number, you say, how much do I actually need to get for 1 chest or 2 chests, divide that, and that gives you how many of these do you actually need to hit. You can calculate that out to say how many hours do I need to sit in this system and get hit by these hostiles to gain the loot that I need. And what you can see here is that these hours are way less than the mining hours. So you're actually going to be able to get everything you need for your bundles much faster than you're going to get for your mining, which leads another question. Do I target my mining nodes so that I can get the highest speed possible, but I may not be able to hit these hostiles? So I use a Picard maneuver, I use other tricks to kind of make sure my hostile doesn't hit me. And then I send the ship into a lower system where I know I can kill those hostiles for a good amount of time. Don't even park it on a node because I'm going so low that it doesn't really matter. Or am I saying, hey, I only have an hour and a half what this automated defense is, and so I'm going to target the exact system that's going to give me the maximum amount of loot for the hour and a half that my automated defenses are on. So this kind of gives you 2 different strategies. Do I do some mining, like some additional mining in a very high system? And then do I do some mining in a lower system so that I can actually focus on getting the hostile loot? You may be asking, well, how the hell am I going to get to a high system if I don't have warp range? This is one of the tricks that is we kind of talked about during launch day. There is a hazard damage, and you can, if you want to actually play around with this trick now on screen, there's a hazard damage of 5,000%. However, they changed the tick rate of when that hazard damage actually applies hull damage to your ship. It is now every 20 seconds. Now that is on a server timer, so it isn't like, hey, my ship is warped in, I have exactly 19 seconds to do any actions prior to it just being destroyed. There's a server tick, so it could get destroyed immediately, it could get destroyed in 19 seconds, or any time in between. But if you send in your disco and you can immediately summon in your Squall right away, then you actually can get your Squall to a much higher system than it has the warp range to get to. So right now you've shown that you've died pretty quickly in a level 40 system. How high can you get that disco to? Can you get to the highest system?
I can indeed. And that is actually what I did for my event. I think on day 2 when I needed to mine, I actually popped up. I'm going to wait about 10 more seconds if you don't care. I popped up into the level 70 system. I cannot kill the hostiles, but also the trick with the disco is that when you get up there, it becomes the targeted ship. And because the Serene Squall comes in so closely to that timer, it never actually gets targeted. So now I've got the Serene Squall up here. The disco is going to die. It's the one that would have gotten targeted, and now my Squall can sit on the highest mining node and just kind of hang out here. I don't even need a Picard maneuver. My Discovery is going to die here any second. There it goes. And I'll never be targeted. No Picard maneuver necessary. And I can just sit here and I can mine in the deep system with the highest mining rate. But if I were to I mean, to be honest with you, there is absolutely no way to spawn a chaser here. Now, I don't want it, for the record. I don't want that chaser because I couldn't kill it. All right? I wouldn't be able to kill it. But I will not get any of that hostile loot in this system. If I want the hostile loot, then I'm actually dropping way down here, and I'm going into the level 40 system, which is where I'm headed with my Squall now, if I'm going to mine the hostiles as well. Cruzito said, and now you have to summon home. Yes. Most typically, I just die, though. Somebody's going to come and kill me eventually. All right, because that happens on my server a lot. Yeah.
That's a great strategy. Nah, I'll just wait. Somebody will come and kill me eventually.
Someone's going to come and get me after a little while. Okay, so yeah, they're going to come and get me. But I'm going to stay up here and I'm going to mine way faster. All right, if you guys saw my mining rate here just a second ago. I'm using a tier 1 Squall. I'm mining at 347,000 an hour in the level 70 system. But if I go down to the native system, which is Sohaj, which is the level 40 system, I am mining here at a much more reduced rate at only 69,000. Now, I can, yes, you're right, I can disco home as well, but I can mine at 69,000 or I can mine at 370,000. What do I want to do? But it does, right, Jules, come with a trade-off because in the 69,000 system, I'm getting hostiles. In the 370,000 system, I am not getting hostiles. So there is a little bit of a trade-off there.
There's definitely a trade-off. And the other thing too is you probably can't even max your cargo on this node right now that you're looking at the level 40 system, but you can definitely max your cargo on the 10 million node size. So there is some play, especially in the early tiers for players who are not upgrading the ship via packs, to kind of play around with making sure you can get node size big enough that you can actually fill your cargo with just one node. So there's a little play early on. Now, later on, roughly, I think it was like tier 7 or tier 8, you're going to have your cargo is going to be well over 10 million. It's not going to matter. So those are the actual loops that are associated with this one. But I did also want to bring up, and I think I should probably give you a screenshot. Maybe we could try it via you actually taking a look at a spreadsheet. On the Transgen spreadsheet, if you go over to the tab called Mining Comparison, and I'll put this link here in the Twitch chat as well. May want to zoom out just slightly. So Mining Comparison near the end there. Okay. All right, so here's what I've done. I've actually taken the Squall using the mining laser and then taken a comparable ship with each of the generations. So taking a look at G3 through G6, but then I also added, just for shits and giggles, the G, like a Ops 70 with like a Max DeVite mining laser. I also use that. Now, all of those faction miners or independent miners, but the other miners that I use as comparison use the Forge bonus. And when we're talking about common, uncommon, and rare, the Squall not only uses the Forge bonus, but also uses its own individual Squall research. So the big question that I think we all had was, well, when is it actually going to surpass my mining ship? Now, slightly to the right of this is going to be lots of green, a little green chart here, called mining rate comparisons. And I kind of want to zero in just a little bit because it's not pretty, there's no graphs or anything like that, but it does kind of hone in on a couple things. With a G3, a tier 4 Squall is the highest you can possibly get to, technically. That is what you're supposed to get it to. There's a bug. We are told that they will be fixed, but the bug is you actually use a tier 5 ops lock to get to a tier 4 Squall. That is either text incorrect and we have to change all of these tier locks, or it is a actual component incorrect placement for those tier locks. We can talk more about it later, but I'm going to pretend that it is all going to be right based on the communication that they have provided. Tier 4 Squall is the highest that a G3 player can get it to, and this is the mining rate for common and uncommon, and as you can see, it is much lower than, say, a Tier 6 Valkyries, the G3 faction miner. It's also available at Ops 30. So you can clearly tell you do not want to use the Squall. Squall is useless to replace the old loop. When we start taking a G4, The Squall is slightly comparable, a little bit better with the rare transition mining than, say, a tier 6 Vortivore. But now I'm starting in G5, and I am saying, hey, max the Squall for your generation, which is going to take some time, and I do understand that, but we have to compare what is possible to what you may have to see what the value proposition is. The Squall really takes on a life of its own in G5. It starts to outpass your G4 ships and your G5 miners and starts to actually surpass that mining rate. And then even in G6, even with the Selkie and the Devite's huge mining laser bonus, that research bonus does actually overtake it and provide you with faster mining for the Squall once you're able to max it in G6. I feel like you're about to ask a question.
Actually, I am surprised by that. I would have expected with the G6 mining lasers that they wouldn't have taken that into account. It actually looks like they may have, which is surprising because they don't usually when it comes to the G6 miners. So this is actually a little bit motivating to see. Now, again, tier 18, that's a max ship. It's going to take years on a native on a native platform. So you're spending if you want to get there. You have a Devite, you've got a Selkie now. So you can spend on that Squall if you want, but agreed in looking at its long-term benefit, there is a benefit to working on the ship, whether you pay or you do it natively. It will surpass. And that was a question that we had at the very beginning, Jules, is this thing ever going to be better than what my Selkie is? Well, now we know the answer is indeed yes. Archer says to get that hunk of junk to G6 takes how long? Well, it's close to a year if you do it free to play. All right. 421 days to max it.
Mm-hmm. You add the 100 days to acquire it, then a true free-to-play will have it maxed in about a year and a half.
Including the 100 days or not including the 100 days?
Yeah, you add 100 days, it's 521 days. It's roughly a year and a half, plus some.
You know, that I was going to say, that's not the worst. Yeah, that's not actually the worst.
No.
That's not.
No, 600, 600 was like the old standard.
Yeah.
Anything less than 500 I'm happy with. Again, it is now the same way that the Reliant was. It is generationally faster. So if you're a G6 player now, it's going to take you a lot faster than if you're a G3 starting with the ship and progressing ops as you progress with the ship. So it's going to take more time than if you started at G6 tier 1. So just saying, because the actual parts in the bundle change based on your generation.
Well, not only that,
though, that I'll point out.
Well, and I was just going to say also, do keep in mind too, this is not exclusive to a native design. This is using only the loop, but you're going to see events that pay some parts. You're going to see battle passes. You will eventually see event stores that throw in some parts. You'll probably see some in other types of events and alliance things and things like that. So, it'll probably be faster than that. The better question I do see in the chat, and the better question is indeed from Murphy, is the loop still relevant at that time? I guess that depends, right? That depends on what your progression is in artifacts along the way. Can I just indeed maybe jokingly, friendly like poke a little stick into the ribs of my friend Griffin X16, who didn't prioritize artifacts? Right, buddy?
Who wants to sit around waiting for your alliance to do the freaking armadas with you all day long? Are you kidding?
So, in that case, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to fast track artifacts, and it depends on what the individual position is of that player at that time, whether or not that value is still going to be there. I am telling you, I do not think that it's going to be a year and a half natively. I think that there will be other events. I think there will be event stores. I think there will be Ferengi battle passes. I think there will be different types of part bundles. There will be other loops in the future that supply parts, kind of like DTI, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not going to take that long, and this is not natively a very long ship to begin with. I do think that it will probably have value to the large majority of the player base, maybe not the min-maxers, but for the large majority of the player base, I'm sure they are nowhere near maxing all their artifacts, lest I remind you of the 6% Vidar statistic that took us all by surprise. I guarantee that there are a vast majority of a large percentage of players that don't have any maxed artifacts, that don't have a single mastery artifact, even unlocked at this particular stage. Artifacts will always be valuable to this game. And as Griffin says, listen, a year from now, maybe nobody's doing formation armadas, period, because they suck. And then this becomes the only way to source a lot of those artifacts. So I think that, that again, depends on who you ask. For us, is that loop going to be valuable in a year and a half? Maybe not. Maybe, though. I don't know. Kind of depends on what your progress with artifacts is. And I think that the fact that this ship has a shorter span than what is typical. I mean, look at the Vindicator, right? Shiz, we've been begging for Vindicator parts in any sort of way to get the... My Vindicator's still tier 5. What? Okay, that's
not very vindicating.
That's a terrible pacing ship. You know, you want to talk about ship parts. What about that one? You know, shut up, Cruzito. It might be tier 6 by now. I don't remember. But either way, it's still way too low for what it should be. All right. So, yeah, like, what did the Vindicator do to somebody at Scopely that they hated so much? Who knows? I don't know. All right, but that is definitely something to look at. So, long story short, promising to see that the Squall will eventually outpace the G6 ships. That is actually something that Scopely doesn't get right very often, because I still think they don't even know what happened with the G6 mining lasers. I don't think that they actually understand the math behind it. I might be underselling them, Jules, but I still think they don't fully grasp it.
We also don't understand node size, because yet again, there is a node size problem. And I have a mini chart you already have on your screen now, time to drain node. Now, G3 through G5, I've put that number in the hours, but in G6, that is in minutes. A tier 18 Squall will drain the highest token system rare transition mining node in 2 minutes. Active mining is not fun. Active mining is terrible. It is annoying. And if you don't want to do active mining and you want the Squall to be hit by the actual chasers that are coming in and hitting you, you then have to contend with the same bugs and problems we just talked about, which is your chaser being stolen, or it never spawning, or it's spawning low. This is a problem. The node size need to be bigger.
Well, not only that.
Moving on.
Not only that, but again, we just talked about the whole overcargo possibility here. You know, honestly, if you're draining a node in 2 minutes, you are actively mining. You're active mining. Is there going to be anything there for a pirate to even capture later on? Probably not. So you're eliminating that piece of what was clearly intended and planned for with this loop. And I think the node size is a big problem. I agree with Jules. So.
You know what the real quality of life would be? I'll tell you. It's to, especially when you're writing a loop like this, just make all the freaking nodes unlimited. Why do we even need a capacity of nodes? Why don't you just let it roll until somebody kills you or until you're max cargo? Why do we keep accepting that? Why do I have to keep resetting crap every 3 minutes?
Zeno points out they want you in the game. I'm just going to change this to Griffin. They don't want us getting stuff for not being in the game. But here's the thing. If we go over cargo, it influences PvP. PvP is the biggest generator of money in this game. People buying new crews, buying new artifacts, buying whatever they can to get an edge in PvP. So wouldn't you want to encourage PvP in this game?
That's why I'm saying just make the nodes unlimited.
You did just release combat mining and combat mining officers and combat mining ships and all this stuff. I mean, you know, hey.
If Scopely woke up one day and said, you know what, game update, all the nodes in this game are now unlimited and you either get blown up or you run out of cargo space. I mean, there would be celebrations. There would be dancing in the street.
I like dancing in the streets.
Right? So where's that QoL? Come on.
Cruzito says, then we're all going to cry that our miners are dying. Doesn't that happen already? Just my server?
It already does.
Okay, just my server? No, just checking.
Just make them unlimited. It's you overthink everything. Everything is overthought. It's a mining loop. You've literally made a loop in a ship about mining, and it takes some idiot in a underground cave hiding from Cruzito to figure out, oh, maybe we should just make the nodes unlimited.
You know, Jules was getting there. All right, you got. I mean, you know, you're the first one to use the word unlimited, but I mean, Jules was there. He wanted like 100x node size.
I'd love that.
Unlimited.
Give me a billion node size.
I like unlimited.
Unlimited.
I like unlimited.
Untapped resource.
Well, I do have a lot more. I have a lot more to segment 3, so I do want to kind of continue forward.
We have unlimited talk, text, and data. Why can't we have unlimited mining?
Before you move on from mining, I do have one more question for you. So let me know when that's done.
Okay. Yeah, I'm moving on from mining, so go ahead, ask your question.
Oh, fantastic. My question for you is about a new feature that was introduced in the research of the game.
Oh no.
A quality of life, if you will.
Oh no.
And if you want to click up the whale cam, you can.
Sure,
you don't have
indeed,
to.
am. Yep.
But here I am on this nice little mining sweep situation here. Now I progressed through the research and I unlocked Klingon mining sweep because I'm trying to max my rep on Klingon. It's the last one I have to do.
Now, very quickly.
And so I have clearly done.
Let's explain what Klingon mining sweep is. We talked about this on Tuesday, but just real quick.
Well, DJ's Klingon mining sweep, and there is a Federation and a Romulan version, allows G3 through G6 mining daily goals to be completed by simply mining transigen. What a deal.
That's great.
So instead of going out and sending ships to nowhere for reasons that I don't even need anymore because I have 50 kabillion of every raw resource, I can just go mine transigen and complete my daily goals. And as we can see right here on the screen, if you are watching live, I do have that research unlocked. And here I am, Jules Verne, in real time in the game with my nice little ship.
Well, it's not going to work.
My
now.
nice little.
It's after midnight.
What?
Oh, you're going to
mean?
demonstrate it. Oh my gosh, he prepped for this segment. Oh my God, Jules, he is on a transigen node. He's on a transigen node with 6.5 million transigen. All right.
And as you can see here, I've got a fresh little daily goal situation going on here.
No.
Nothing has been redeemed. 0 points.
This is terrible.
And so I think I'm going to click right here.
Oh no. Oh no.
And I'm off the node. I'm off the node. And I'm going to go in here.
This is bad. Bad news bears.
And lo and behold, I have 0 points. 0 points for mining anything.
And the daily goals department said, Griffin, hold my beer.
What is going on?
It's the mine, right?
Oh.
Do you see the text on there? It says uncommon transigen, not epic. You have to mine 187 million uncommon transigen.
No, you don't. That is some bull crap.
Hold.
What?
Hold the.
Okay, really, truthfully.
That's a really strange qualifier because here I am back in this little thingamajigger that I worked so hard to unlock. Right here, where is it? I don't see the word uncommon there anywhere. It's nowhere to be seen.
You don't have to mine uncommon. You can just mine 187 million raw 6-star crystal.
I am disappointed and dissatisfied.
Oh boy!
I'm with Griffin on this. That should be any kind of transigen would get the job done.
No. It clearly says uncommon. And you know what, Griffin? For your inability to read, sir, you get turned green. Hold my beer.
No. It does not say uncommon. It does not say uncommon. It says no such thing.
Man. Oh, my sides are hurting. That's a good one right there.
Allows G3 through G6 Klingon mining daily goals to be completed by mining transigen. Okay? Now, unless they went to the Jules Verne School of Saving Space when we don't need to save space because there's plenty of space, and they abbreviated it with some hidden letters, it doesn't say uncommon in what you unlock. So this is complete crap.
Okay, hang on. We need another YouTube short. We're gonna go full screen. Griffin here, you're front and center. Speak to the people.
I just want to know why anybody thinks it's fair in any realm of reality to have a research that you work hard, you toil, you trouble, you tribulate to get through, these mining sweeps, which clearly say all you have to do is mine transigen. Not rare transigen, not uncommon transigen, just transigen in order to get your daily goal complete for a particular mining resource. Here it is right on my screen. Klingon mining sweep allows G3 through G6 mining daily goals to be completed by mining transigen. I did that. I mined 6 million epic transigen, thank you very much, with my ship that I worked very hard to unlock by hitting the old cash register button several times, time after time. More money, just hit it again and hit it again. And then all I want to do is see my daily goal be complete. And what do I get? Nothing. I get nothing. I get this, and a dime gets me a cup of Jack Squat. Look, nothing. And then I go in here amongst all my friends, my thousands and millions of friends on the internet, to show how cool it is that I found something that's not working in the game. And then you hide this uncommon word here. Here you can write uncommon, but you can't write it on the research that you pay to unlock. Get
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. He'll be back. He'll be fine. Just give him.
And another thing is, I'm not even going to get an apology for this, or I'm sorry. I'm just going to get it says uncommon right there. Yeah, you're green.
I mean, green is the color for uncommon.
You know what?
Moreover, hold on.
Nobody.
Moreover, I'm going to agree with you here. Why uncommon?
Oh, you are.
Why uncommon? Why not the new stuff that goes with the new ship, that goes with the new research? Why not that stuff? You don't even have to mine uncommon anymore.
You know, I apologize. I did actually use my brain and common sense and simply assumed that it would be the new epic resource to go with the new research, to go with the new unlock.
You don't even have to really mind the uncommon anymore. Like the Squall is supposed to make it so that you don't have to do that. Right?
So let me get this straight. What we're saying is that in order to save time and efficiency in this daily goals loop, I now have to go and mine a resource that I'm never going to need to mine ever again for any other reason other than to save myself the time of doing the other one that I don't need anymore. Eek. What did I say?
And to Tarpy's point, the true problem is it's not that it's just conflicting information with two pieces of text. You can't actually see the uncommon transigen until you've unlocked the research, and now you're stuck. You cannot score in that daily goal until you mine 187 million of either 6-star uncommon or 6-star
Wait. So the daily doesn't change until after you do the research, which doesn't say anything about uncommon. Yeah. So then you do the research.
Correct.
But changes the daily, and it changes the daily quantity. So now you have to mine millions
187 million.
This is the biggest zonk of all time. It's like, where's Monty Hall? Is this let's make a deal? Did I open the wrong door?
The opposite of an efficiency.
Wait, 187 million uncommon? No. Go back to the daily. I need to see the daily.
Right.
You
it's
have to
right
mine
here. Go to
you have to
Whale
mine
Man.
187 million uncommon transigen to finish that day. Where's the back button?
Zeros?
Where's the back button? I need the back button.
Dude, guys, DJs. This was
no,
the visual
because
bug
they said it would.
they
They said that it would be fixed on the first day. So I think that this is something different. This is the third day. This is not the first day.
Where's the undo button? I need a back button.
Yeah, because they fixed things that fast.
They said they fixed it.
These numbers. We saw these numbers, but we didn't see the uncommon transigen because they gave us the sweep goals, but for all of our regular daily goals. So they fixed that, but they also said it was just showing us the text of the amount we needed to mine, that it wasn't actually accurate. So in my belief, It was just they assigned that text to the wrong daily goal prior to unlocking the sweep. That's what we all saw, even if that text wasn't accurate. Now that Griffin has unlocked that sweep, that is the number he now has. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh,
I guess I'm just going to have to go on mine some uncommon transitions.
Let's go mine some uncommon real quick and just see what happens.
There's some uncommon.
Oh my God.
And that ship's not even good at that.
All right, so I've mined a good 20,000 here. Is that enough for our experiment?
Sure. Hop off the node. Let's see what happens. There's 25,000.
I'm afraid to look.
Go look.
I don't want to look.
Let's see it. In the podcast audience, we're going to show that you got 607,000 points off of 25,000.
How do they have different amounts?
What?
That's more bugs than.
This is the biggest joke I've ever seen in my entire life.
What am I looking at? What is this shit? Hold on. And then, you'll never believe this, Tarpy. Then the guy who was doing the math on the crystal and the transition, and he basically just came and he said, hold my beer. Hold my beer. No. Oh, God.
And it's not even proportional.
Oh.
Right? It's not like you just doubled the amount.
No,
there's
two totally different formulas there.
Zero rhyme or reason to that.
And
Zero rhyme or reason.
Number you mined. That's not even the number you mined. Right? Like, how much uncommon do you have in your hold?
Okay.
Right now I'm sitting at, here you go. I have 50,200 uncommon in my hold.
We've got to do some
50,200.
Neither of those numbers was that number.
And here I'm being credited for 187,000. No, that's not it.
No, go up. Yeah.
No.
955,244.
The math doesn't work. Yeah, but right above it,
did
it's
you mine
700.
more?
Yeah, he did mine a little bit more. He's got 50,000 now. So wait.
Why are these numbers different?
There's obviously some kind of weird multiplier here, but why? You're right. Why are they different? The small one has like a different multiplier than the big one. I need a paper bag. 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 I need a paper bag.
Okay. This officially counts as uncommon sense, right?
Can we?
Because we are.
Hold on.
Quality.
That's why I hate this stupid game.
Quality.
Oh man. Yeah. You know what? If you're listening in podcast right now, I'm going to actually encourage you not to go back and watch this on video. You
might lose your lunch.
You will be confused.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not watch this segment on video. You will.
What the shit? What is going on?
Oh my God. I don't understand.
So just to summarize, I have been credited for 754,000 uncommon crystal under the one Klingon miner. I've been credited 955,244 on the other Klingon excavator. When in reality, I have in fact so far mined exactly 50,200.
Okay. Keep going. We got to get to 187,000. Just pop it back on there. It'll take like 2 minutes. It'll be fine. Let's see what happens at 187,000. Listen, guys, you can talk about the 187,000 all you want. It still doesn't explain why the multiplier is different on the small daily versus the big daily. Okay, that does not explain it. All right. The math is wrong. Okay, the math is wrong. You say it's set up as a percent. Well, that would be something that has never, ever happened before. All right. But either way.
Nor does it say that it is in this. Nor does it even say that I have to mine in common in the first place until I buy the damn thing. What is going on? Quality. Where's the Three Blind Mice song? We need is that intellectual property still?
I don't know.
Three blind mice. Dun 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 dun.
Oh my God. I have no words. All right, hop off the node. Hop off the node.
Well,
Let's see.
hold on.
You've
I'm
got
at 157,
Yeah,
so
but
I'm
you're
almost at 180.
Just get off the node. Get off the node. Get off the node.
Get off the node.
Get off the node. Get off the node.
Get off the node.
See how much you got. See how much you got now. See how much you got now.
Oh, well, it's going to be far more impressive this time.
No, see what's in your cargo because I want to. No,
267.
Bro.
No, 2 million.
187,000 did not finish the daily. Look at the cargo.
I don't have 187 yet. I have 178.
And it's nowhere close. Nowhere close.
That's why I told you to just wait a second. Let me get to the 187 in case something magical happens, because at this point, I'll believe anything.
It's a magic carrot. Okay, there's 187. Hop
okay,
off the
there's
node.
the 187.
187. We're at 187,000. Let's go to the dailies. No dailies complete. As a matter of fact, we are now at the beautiful round number of 3.7 million out of the necessary 187 million.
I got screwed. Now, the last question is, what happens if I go and mine some ore now? Or some crystal now?
Crystal. Yeah. You would be unhappy if you mined ore.
187 million uncommon retrieving. Do you realize what the ask is on that? 187 million. Well, no, it's not. It's not impossible, but you would have to cycle the node. You'd have to cycle that node about 700 times. Okay.
Every day.
This has to be a bug. It's got to be a bug, Jules. It's a bug. Has to be, right? Because this would be silly design. Silly is
it fulfilled its initial purpose.
Clearly.
Jules?
My beer was getting warm.
Oh, that's...
We've got a hard out. We missed our hard out.
That's not the keyword today, DJ.
Well, now that we've recorded that little video that we will definitely send straight to the devs, should we move back to the squall?
No. This is it.
Hold on. I'm almost done mining crystal.
Okay.
All right, there you go. We've mined some crystal. Now what's happening?
Wait, did that go
Why
down?
are these numbers now getting closer to each other?
And didn't one of them go down? Weren't we at like 6.5 million a minute ago?
I thought so. Here, let me
Were we at 6.5 million a second ago? What? Now his dailies are going down. The amount
that can't be right.
It went down.
With all that crystal.
Wait, can you show that again? Can you show your dailies again?
Yeah, I screenshotted it, so I do have the totals. I'm seeing if they go down or up when I mine this 1,000 here. I'm halfway through 1,000. 700, 800, 900, and stop. It's like the gas pump. Okay, now.
Okay,
682 and 761. They are getting close. Those numbers are slowly getting closer to each other.
I don't understand.
Okay, for the people in the chat, we know the 187 million number is wrong. That is not the question here. It is why the other numbers are different from one another.
They're not the same.
And they keep changing in relative difference because they're getting closer. Like, we know the big number is wrong.
That's not the
We
question.
know.
The question is, what is the correlation to crystal to uncommon transigen, and why is the ratio different on both of those dailies?
I am so confused. These numbers are in fact getting closer to each other.
Wait, can you scroll slightly up to your total mind for the daily?
It doesn't help that one. So the sweep has nothing to do with that. The top one should match.
I know. But I just want to make sure it also didn't screw up the rest of his dailies because he mined right about 1,000.
Yep, no, those are perfect.
So
oh look, this is correct. This is about what I've mined in crystal so far.
Oh my god.
Yeah, with your bonuses and stuff. Yes, that's great. At least it didn't screw that up too.
Maybe when the two numbers meet, that's when you win money.
That's when you cross the streams and Gozer comes out
Train
and destroys
departed
New York
Dallas,
City with
Texas,
the
and is
Marshmallow
headed
Man.
towards Columbus, Ohio, at a rate of 87 miles an hour. But Train B leaves New Jersey, heading towards Tampa, Florida, and is moving at 56 miles an hour. When will they intersect and cause a derailment of epic proportions? I don't know.
Isn't there a website for that? For figuring out your mining times?
Ask the
Put them on the
Scopely Dev
job.
team. Oh my God. I'm done, Jules.
I don't know what's going on.
Jules, can you make heads or tails of this? If the lab can't make heads or tails of this, then I'm not trying. I'm not trying.
Experiments borked.
It's all fucked.
All right, 786. Yeah, exactly.
What? No! I gotta hit the Jules, you can't no, man! The button!
Was he wrong? Was he
I was going
wrong?
to say we'll get back to you on that.
Can we circle back?
No, there's no circling back.
Mining has
Okay,
fulfilled its
now
original purpose.
the difference between the two is not 786,000. I mined more transigen, and the difference between the two is back to 1.197 million.
I don't understand. You know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of right here, Tarpy? This reminds me of that video on the internet of like the girl on one side and on the other side. The video on the internet. You know that one where on one side
With the one cup?
they have all the shapes. No, Griffin.
It's a different one.
No, yeah, not that one. The other video.
Different video, okay.
The other video where they've got the shapes and they're all going into the same hole, and the developer on the other side is losing her mind. Yeah, the engineer's losing her mind.
The engineer whose soul is dying.
Yes, yeah, she's just having major panic attacks because they're putting all of the different shapes, but they're putting it all in the same one
And now we
spot.
have the circle that goes into the circle.
No.
And
And the
diamond
circle
that
goes into the
Square.
square. No.
And the star goes into the triangle.
Yeah, no.
No, the thing
Oh my
everything
God,
goes into
yes.
square. Everything goes
Okay,
into
so
square.
Oh God.
bottom line, my final review on this new research, 0 out of 10, would not recommend. DJ's back to you.
And we've lost control here, people. That's it.
Wait, we had control?
Nope. Gotta go. Show's over. This is it, folks.
That's it.
This
Hit
is
the
there's,
button.
There's no way to spin that. We're all done. What the hell? I just hit the wrong button. I don't even know where the right button is. Where's that button? That button.
Do you ever hit the right
Is
button?
that
Do you
the
know
button?
where the right button is?
Where's that button? Is that it? No, that's not it. Oh God. Hold on. I got no. This is it. Hey guys. Griffin, here, hold my beer. Let's redo a mining daily. Except, hold on, hear me out. Let's throw in a random ass multiplier. That'll really F them up. Hold on, but wait. What if we mine the original material, but it counts as a negative?
That could only be a better idea if you multiplied the overall goal by a factor of 58.
But it's a negative 58.
But what if you mine the one and then you mine the other at the same time?
We might have to make a spreadsheet for that. Can we? Tarpy, you hold my beer.
No. I will dump your beer at this point. You don't need more beer. Listen to you.
Hold your hair, maybe.
Quality.
Oh,
I ain't touching that either.
oh God.
I will hold my
leave that
head
for
in
Tarkin.
shame.
Did you actually pay for that research, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Do you know why?
Why?
Because there was a regional leaderboard for mother engines parts on the line, and the more you spend, the more you get.
Oh God. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay. All right. Serious face. Serial time. Jules.
No, I know how to get us back on track.
I need you to regain control here.
Because the next segment is what's the valuable in this ship. And I feel like we just said avoid it at all costs.
Oh, okay. So Jules. Cereal face. Jules.
Yes.
What? Okay, hold on. I can do this. I can do this.
Are you sure?
Tell us, Jules.
Yes.
On Tuesday, you were 60% on buying the ship versus not buying the ship. Where are you today, and where did you land?
Okay, well, I'm not going to answer that question until after I walk you through all of the value propositions of the ship. Ignore the research. Please go back into my spreadsheet under the Serene Squall tab and look at the refinery that is there, which is basically the loop for this ship. A little zoom out so you can kind of see the whole chart, but here you've got 3 different bundles that are coming exclusively with this refinery thing. There's also some other things that come exclusively with the Serene Squall, but these are the 3 major bundles that you'll be dealing with on a day-to-day basis. You have your raw to refined epic, which is your mining. You've got your manipulator exchange, which is the hostile loop, which also, by the way, drops a little bit of speed ups, and we'll talk about that in a second. In your strong box, you both get uncommon and rare of the refined transigen, so you don't ever have to mine uncommon transigen again. You also get a lot of speed ups in these bundles, which are generational locked. So you get more for a higher generation of G3 through G5, and then you also get Sigma when you get to G6.
And you definitely don't have to mine the uncommon, like, for sure.
You don't need to anymore. Like, you've got this drip of uncommon refined, so that's not really a thing you need to do anymore.
You don't need to mine uncommon anymore. Damn straight.
Yeah. Here's the chart of the ship parts, the bulkhead items that you would actually get. And as you can see, they increase by generation and by tier. So if you're a G6 player, it's actually accelerated progression through this than if you were a G4, G5 player. You get research dust, forge dust. Now, as a reminder, the forge dust does unlock a Transigen Forge reward bundle, and it also unlocks the faction ship jump drives. So the Forge Dust getting a guaranteed drip of this is also really helpful. Now, the Orion skin, which we saw Griffin sport earlier, is a pay-only cosmetic at this current time, but it gives a couple benefits. It gives you 30% more of the uncommon transigen, so you really don't ever have to mine it again, and the rare transigen, and including the Forge Dust, which isn't listed, but it has been proven to give you a boost on the Forge Dust, which is nice.
Real quick, question in the chat is where do you get the speed ups? What type of speed ups do you get when you get to G6 or the ship gets to G6? Listen, even tier 1, if you are a G6 player, is going to give you Sigma speed ups. All right, so even at tier 1, we're straight on the unlock. If you're a G6 generational player, you do indeed get Sigma, that's actually a nice thing. Okay, that's a good thing.
And I've calculated the total amount of time that you're getting in each chest. So this isn't all the number, 1 day speed ups and the hour speed ups and the minute speed ups. This is actually the total amount of time all calculated here for you. You also get artifact choice tokens, which we'll talk about in a second. And then starting even at tier 1, you'll start access to Strange New Worlds Black Ops Chapel through the tier up gifts. And at tier 10, you'll start getting your drip. So I would probably put Chapel sourcing similar to the Syndicate, where you're going to get basically almost a full unlock of Chapel through this refinery alone, as long as you are willing to spend the time and wait, or at least more spend up and get those tier up gifts, but it'll still take some time to kind of claim all of those and to claim enough of this refinery. But she's exclusively at this time through the Squall Strongbox. Okay. So that is these. Now, I do want to point out, if you actually probably can do this, if you scroll a little bit to the right here, you'll see a few mathy things I've done. Now, this background black, this means I've done math. This is not necessarily facts. This is subjective. Here, my first question is, how much excess epic transigen after claiming your Squall Strongbox? If you have not seen already, the Strongbox cost actually is greater than a single chest of the mining. So if you only mined, you actually would not be able to afford the Strongbox every day. That seems like a bug. Great thing is that you won't only be mining one chest pull, you'll also be doing the hostiles, hopefully, at the same time. And you could also do multiple of those bundles. You can do a 2 chest of the mining and 2 chests of the hostiles, depending on what your grind is going to be. Now, what I've done is I've said, hey, the minimum is 1 mining. And as you can see, you have a negative excess, which means you can't actually do this. But I also did a moderate. Moderate meaning that, the mining daily takes a lot of hours of time. I don't think everyone's going to be able to mine and get the double chest every single time. As you've pointed out, that is not the strategy we should do. But even mining 1 chest in a system appropriate for your hostile killing level should actually give you a double pull of the hostiles. So if you're going to combine both loops into 1 grind, then you're essentially going to do 1 mining chest per day and 2 of the hostile chests per day as you tier up. That's moderate. That is respectable. A max is obviously a double-double. Okay, you want us min-maxers, we like that double-double.
Ain't nobody double-double in this thing.
I'm double-doubling it.
You are not. Are you serious?
Yeah.
How?
Because I send the ship up to the 70 system and I mine it the shit out of it.
Jules has too much to drink tonight. That's 2 edits now.
That's actually way more than that. We missed a lot earlier in the day, and I just decided, okay, their gloves are off. Moving back to that chart, though. Go back.
Yeah, there you go. That's
what
right,
you're looking
Skippy.
at here is there.
He bought the ship.
At least you don't have to mine 387 kabillion crystal now.
He bought the ship. He did. Cruzito said, if you actually play the game, you can finish things, DJs. Okay, I was busy at work. Then I came home and I made dinner for my children. And then I came out here to do a show for you guys where we clearly demonstrated the effectiveness of math and how the new.
Go back to the sheet. We got things to teach.
Yeah.
Got things to teach.
Math.
So what does that excess actually get you? Not the image, the spreadsheet.
Where did that go?
And you left. I don't know.
There it is. It's back. Got it.
Here's the thing.
I got it.
I am this close to learning how to do a stream together just so that I can take control of your screen.
Oh my God, that would be great if you could drive. That'd be awesome. I'd just turn on the Jules cam.
We'll figure that out. Yeah, we'll figure that out after this show. And we'll do that next time. We'll do a teaching segment. What does that excess get you? And this is the big thing I wanted to point out, because tier 1 players who are saying, I have nothing left after my Strongbox pull. What is this 20 epic transition even going to get me? And it's not a lot right off the bat. 1 shard, 1 artifact shard, boo. 1 loop efficiency bonus. If I don't care about those loops, boo. So I don't like the ship and I want the ship. Well, let's look at the long term. What's going to happen way down the line? We can take a look at, just skip ahead a bunch. Look at the 75. You get 75 epic transigen, or you can get a combat exo every single day. Say you're an active war zone, or say, hey, I want to start banking some of those combat exos so I can use those on arena day. I can have a great apex barrier, great apex shred combat exos on, arena day. That's where I want to be targeting. Or we can even look down to say 150. Well, what if I want just 2 different artifacts, but I want to get a double chest because that's what I care about right now. And, there's also some loops that I'm trying to kind of ignore. So I want to get single chests of those loops. Well, this is where 150 or, I think that's roughly tier 13, 14 comes into play, where you can get that much excess at that time. So there's a few things we can get in here. The other thing I wanted to point out that comes from the Strongbox, but also comes from the tier-up gifts, is the speed-ups that we get, the actual G6 Sigma speed-ups. So this is for my G6 players here. This is what this segment's going to teach you. How good is the Sigma speed-ups in daily Latinum savings. As in, if I converted Latinum into the speed ups that I was gaining from these boxes, how good is it? If I'm double pulling my manipulator chest, which is the hostile grind as a reminder, and I'm single pulling my strong box, I have a chart that DJs will definitely put in the graphics room that shows you by tier how much Latinum you're saving every single day. It starts at tier 1 at 700,000 Latinum. That may sound like a lot to a G3 or G4 player, but to a G6, that's,
8 hours.
Not a ton. Yeah, exactly. It's 8 hours. That's really not going to do a lot. But when you start looking at those lower tiers, all the way back down in the tier 15 to tier 18, which is supposed to be the G6 range, you're looking at saving millions. 7 million at tier 15, 10 million at tier 18 every single day just from your pulls. I'm ignoring the tier up gifts. Okay, you want a fun little math calculation here? 421 days to max this ship, right? Free to play if you're not buying any upgrade packs. Plus the tier up gifts, which are giving you a large contingency of Sigma speed ups and multiple claims of those tier up gifts. That gives you a large amount of Latinum just from those tier up gifts, a total of almost 750 million Latinum. You take that, you take the 421 days of all of those things you're getting every single tier, you add that up to 2.4 billion Latinum saved from the Sigma speedups you're gaining from this shit. This is sneaky. It does not look like this at tier 1. At tier 1, you laugh. You laugh at the amount of speedups you're getting in these chests. But now that you can see this total math, you can see how much actual Latinum you're going to be saving, how many speed ups you're getting. This may be the single greatest source of Sigma speed ups. Not the only, but the single. Prezito says, oh boy, Jules Verne might have pushed me to actually buy the ship. This is the chart that made me buy the ship.
Yeah, this one is actually significant. Dailies aside, research aside, some of the goofiness aside, you're looking as a G6 player. Even once you get the ship to tier 10, you're looking at tier 11. 2 days worth of Sigma speed ups every single day. And that is just in your strong box. And it's actually more than that. Yeah, tier 10 is giving you 2 days worth. Right at looks like 1 day and 22 hours at tier 10. You take that Latinum equivalent, and I just showed you guys here just a little bit ago. This past weekend when I pushed 70 joules, I blew 700 million Latinum. All my speed ups gone, and 700 million Latinum. Killer J says, don't you wish you had this ship before you went 70? Well, here's the thing. How much time before 70? Because 6 months before I went to 70? Yeah. Big time. I would have loved to have banked up all those Sigma speed ups. Now, just having the ship a week ago wouldn't have done enough. You got to pull this every day. You got to pull this over time. But those Sigma speed ups coming every single day, it is an amazing drip, one of the largest drips of Sigma speed ups, even more than what comes in the mirror universe.
Well, that's not actually true, but they're different grinds. No! So actually, continue. Scroll down. Scroll down. Keep going. Keep going down. Just keep going. There's a little chart with the little bit of yellow. Keep going below the grind times, because I was actually asked to do this by Tarpy, our executive producer, who said, actually, can you compare it to how much lat you're earning in 1 hour of active Mew grind, of Mirror Universe grind? And she gave me some figures of how many speed ups you would actually get in a casual but active 30-minute session. And I took that, extrapolate out to 1 hour. You're saving about 2.2 million lat. I said lat earned, but it's actually really lat saved. You're not going to get that per day from this passive grind. You're going to save per hour, 60,000 at tier 1. That's nothing. Even max, you're only saving 1.9 million. But remember, this is passive. Like, how often are you actually going out and running, if you're setting your miner out there for 5 hours, well, you're, especially if you don't have to reset nodes all the time, then it's completely passive. You could sleep at night. You can wake up with more than, 4 hours or 4 hours of active grind equivalency. So would I rather sleep those 4 hours or grind in the mirror universe? So I think that this is not a replacement for the universe, particularly for the heavy grinders who want all of the speed ups they possibly can, but it's a supplement to that. And it's a good supplement. It's a significant supplement to what you may be able to get from the Mirror Universe grind. Or if you're DJs, it completely replaces your Mirror Universe grind because you don't like to grind.
Or if you're UltimatDJz, it just gives you more speed ups because you never did grind speed ups out of the Mirror Universe. So, all right. So
just a base level higher.
Just a base increase for me.
It is greater. Exactly.
The question in chat is, if I'm an Ops 60 player, is this ship worth it? Well, again, very subjective. However, if Sigma speedups are going to be the bane of your existence, which, by the way, for G6 players, it pretty much is, okay, all the way through, then this ship is going to get you more for less. Okay? More for less. So can you earn more in the Mirror Universe? Looks like yes. I might have misspoken on that. Looks like you can get more in the Mirror Universe. However, this is daily drip. Passive. Don't do anything. Just click the button. And for Sigma speedups, that's a big thing. So yeah, if you're G4 or G5, probably G5, late G5, yeah, I'd say for Sigma speedups, this ship is going to be Monavine type influential when it comes to G6 stuff. You remember when we talked about the Monavine skin, especially for like an Ops 59 or an Ops 60, it was game changing. All right? This ship for Sigma speedups is going to be game changing. We talked about the Revenant being game changing for G6 materials. Guys, I don't know if anybody can read the writing on the wall. G7 is coming. Everything they're doing right now is speeding up pain points that we have had throughout the last 2 years. All right? We've seen Sigma resources. We've seen materials. We've seen ship parts, okay, with the Junker, Eviscerator, Voyager. Now you're looking at Sigma speedups. This is one of the big ones. Mirror Universe was the first one. This is huge for Sigma speedups. So
and yet to come for you are the Breen hostiles in the 70, 71, 72. They're dropping mad speed ups for Sigma as well.
If only you could kill them.
One at a time. Ain't bad.
Yeah. He's able to kill one.
I mean, in addition to the other new content, the Mbenga Storybook Mastery Artifact is also dropping Sigma speedups. And right now we've got data up to tier 7 or level 7 of that system, and it's giving us 17 hours per day, and that's just a click. That's part of your daily claims, so that's even less. That's even more passive than what this grind is. And
where did we see that
more?
That's in a different chart, isn't it?
I'll share. Yes, it is. I will share that chart now. It is in the artifacts chart. There's a mastery tab. I'm putting the link currently down into the Twitch chat. I'll pin that there for you as well. So the artifacts tab, mastery artifacts tab, scroll down slightly, you'll see all of the mastery artifact bundles and what you actually see of them per grade.
Yeah, pretty significant here. Getting Mbenga's Storybook up to, say, tier 5, it's right at 11 hours. Tier 6, 13 hours. Tier 7, 17 hours. So that is a pretty significant amount right there also in Sigma speedup. So you take that, you combine that with the Squall. I mean, you're looking at significant amounts of Sigma speedups. Tarpy, I remember going back 6 months. I mean, and it still is for a lot of us. Hell, you guys saw what happened this past weekend with me. Tarpy, you talk about speedups all the time. Yep. Sigma speedups are a thing. They are still a very big factor in G6 progression,
especially for free to play.
Oh, for sure.
Especially for free to play and low spend.
Yeah, because you're at 1 million, you're 1.5 million latinum for 24 hours worth of speed ups. That's why that latinum conversion chart spoke so loudly to Jules. I mean, because it's not 300 lat per day like it was in G4 and G5. It's 1.5 million.
And you have to think about the amount of time that you do put into that active grind. So people were kind of asking where we got those numbers for that chart. What I suggested to Jules was the bare minimum for when you can go the full 30 minutes in the mirror universe. So if you can't do that yet, you're going to get fewer speedups, but it on average is about 3 days or 2 15-hour speedups. Sorry, that's not quite the right number. But it's 2 to 3 days of 15-hour speedups for 100 hostiles in the MU. So if you do more than that, good for you, but I wanted to give it a good minimum number. But I just look at this and I say, that is so much of my time that I don't have to worry about. But if I do the MU grind as well, that's even better. But I don't have to as much.
Now, I do see a question in the
That'd be
chat.
huge.
Kanatu asks, can I bank Sigma speedups as a G5 player? Sadly not. If you're G5, then this is what you're earning. Say tier 5 is going to get you 42 days, tier 4, 35 days. As a G5 generational player, you're going to earn traditional speedups. This is staggered based on your generation. So again, more of a generational targeted kind of progressional growth in your pack here. So G4, say at tier 3 is going to get 13 days. But if you're G5 at tier 3, you're getting 27 days. If you're G6, then you're getting 6 hours Sigma. Okay. Magoo says this is one of the biggest reasons you don't camp at 60. And I could not agree more, because you are costing yourself those G6 materials. You're costing yourself the Sigma, anything that you can do right there. At 61, and might as well go to 62. It's an easy level. But yeah, you are earning G6 relevant content there that you are not earning in the G5 economy. So there you go. Sorry, go ahead, Jules.
And where do you get more of the Mega Storybook shards? Happens to be in the Transgen Refinery. If you want to go back to the spreadsheet, Artifacts, Exos, and FKR jump sourcing is the next tab I want to kind of point out. And this is again, we're talking about what are the benefits of this loop. Getting more uncommon Transgen, now they don't have to mine it anymore, and you just get more of the refined stuff. And you also get the rare. That rare Transgen is what actually fuels your main income of all of those mastery artifacts. It costs 90 of the refined to get a double pull. That gives you 32 shards of each of those mastery artifacts. But there's also a new little tool in here, and that is the artifact choice token. Now, we don't know the full picture of what's included in the artifact choice tokens, but what we do know is that these mastery artifacts, it's the, just while you're there, it's the yellow version of the artifacts, because there's multiple colors. We color-coded it by rarity, legendary, or mastery. It was a different color. So the artifacts, Exos, FKR, jump sourcing tab, the ones that are yellow. Yeah, those are mastery. They not only come with the rare Transgen, but they also come with the rare artifact choice token. Now, that choice token is exclusive to Serene Squall owners. You have a chance at that, which increases by tier. There is no chance percentage in any of the tier or any of the actual I button, the info button stuff, which I'm annoyed by, but regardless. And there's guaranteed rare tokens in the tier up gifts. When you do get those rare tokens, you can claim them for one of these artifacts, and they give you a bigger bundle, 50 at a time of the mastery artifacts. So if Mbenga Storybook and Sigma speedups is your big goal, well, here's a way of targeting that specific one and upgrading it faster, further, longer. So another big benefit of this Serene Squall is faster artifact progression. This now, by the way, completes the picture. 99% of all artifacts are now sourceable through the Transgen Refinery, which is huge. This is the one single source where all artifacts are. Minor exception, I think it's the DTI temporal device is not available. As far as I know, it's not available, but that's the only one. Everything else, all previously paid for only, are available. The Epic Transgen bundle, which is just below here, is exclusive because obviously Epic Transgen is now currently exclusive to the Serene Squall owners. Includes a lot of previously pay-only artifacts. Emperor Giorgio's Crown, the Star Dispatch, Section 31 Beacon, the Classic Tricorder, These things, and then also the ones from our last update, Data's Mask, Khan's Necklace, Khan's Glove, Khan's Risk Communicator, and Emperor, that's not that one, but all of those were just from the last month. So now 100% of artifacts are available free to play. And I say free to play because you still have to actually acquire the Squall and get enough epic transition to actually be able to pull these, but it is technically free to play now.
Not only that,
I think that's a big improvement.
Oh, for sure. And we kind of talk, I guess a couple of months ago with the whole free DTI thing, we talked about artifact mastery, how it was going to eventually come. We see that in retrospect now. But this is, from all intents and purposes, okay, and this, Jules, this is going to be highly subjective, opinion-based. I believe this is the culmination. This looks like the end of artifacts. Not that it is impossible for them to introduce more in the future, but as Jules just pointed out, every artifact in the game is now sourceable, is now wrapped up with a pretty little bow with this loop. And Griffin had mentioned this earlier. Who wants to sit? Even new players, right? New servers, new generational players. Who wants to sit and do 4 manas? Now you don't have to, right? 4 manas are the worst way to get involved with artifacts now. Voyager, mining, and all that stuff, that is now avoidable. All right. So this now becomes essentially the one-stop shop for artifacts. Now, you can still do 4 manas. You can still do Voyager. You can still do all that other stuff to accelerate that. But you've got them all here now in a one-stop shop. So that is a very, very important thing. And just kind of reading between the lines and knowing Scopely, feels like this might be the end of this particular feature. What do you think, Jules?
Like you're predicting no more artifacts?
I'm predicting no more artifacts.
Oh, I disagree with that.
I hope there's more mastery artifacts. I think it's a great mechanic.
Oh, mastery. I think I'll see more of that.
Getting the claims.
I don't think we're going to see more regular ones. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe, though.
Well, that can't be. That can't be because I never got Chakotay's medicine bag. And that's
I was going to say, and if you're going to do more mastery, then you would need more artifacts. Because these already use most of them, so maybe so. I think for them to have wrapped this up with a bow, and that was obviously pretty intentional, Jules. Even if we do see more artifacts, it's probably going to come in an entirely different form that is not going to look like any of the artifacts that we have been used to acquiring up to this point. So, could be something completely different. Maybe not temporal artifacts, but maybe next we're going to get Cardassian artifacts or beta system.
We haven't got one of those spokes on the wheel yet that you mentioned for Chaos and Forbidden Tech.
Yeah, maybe we get a new gear system or something like that. So maybe.
Could be. The last thing I'll point out is there's some new exocomps. Relativity, Vindicator, and the Protector all now have an efficiency bonus exocomp. They have Apex PvE, and we have Apex PvP. That's your Apex barrier increases. And then the big one that I see as hyper valuable is building speed. Now, that being combined with a lot of extra Sigma speed ups is definitely going to reduce our burden of that being the pinch point in G6. Now, it may still be the progression pinch point, at least for a while, until a lot of our players are able to access both the building speed and exocomp and all of this wealth of G6 Sigma speed ups. But you're right. They have definitely honed in on this one, saying, hey, I got 2 pinch points, artifact progression and also ops progression. And what is our ops progression bottleneck for G6? Well, it's just speeding up the buildings. Here's what we're going to provide you. So this 2-pronged approach, more Sigma speed ups and a building speed exocomp, which is highly potent, 500% for a G6 player, is definitely going to make a big difference in our progression.
Now, Nick has a comment in the YouTube chat, says, closing everything off to a free-to-play sounds like maintenance mode might be on a calendar. No, I think it's the exact opposite, Nick. This is the final... this is the final wrap-up for everything artifact-based, and it is free-to-play. you've got 100 days, right? You've got a 100-day countdown, but the ship is already being sourced now. Your blueprints are being available now, free to play. And as soon as you unlock the ship, then your artifact sourcing begins. And that is something that I've said from the beginning of the transigen loop. I said this last month too. Artifacts are the payout of this loop. Jules has found a secondary, if not the primary payout, being the Sigma speed-ups from the ship. But Transigen itself still absolutely is all about the artifacts. And the fact that all of them are available does kind of put a bow on it, so to speak. We go back and we look at the Voyager loop, and I remember we talked about, listen, Jules, you might remember, maybe I am wrong, because if you remember back in the Voyager loop, when Voyager was getting ready to wrap up, we said that between Voyager and the Formation Armadas, that at that time was a perfect wrap up to artifacts because they sourced all the artifacts that were available in the game. Some of them were premium tokens, but there weren't any paid only by the time you got to the end of the Voyager loop. Then we saw other ones come later, so maybe they still can. Maybe they can repeat that model. But they have done some, and not some that are better and some that are not as good, wrap-ups of content. This is a wrap-up of everything they've done artifact-wise up to this point, and it is available free to play. So I think that's an important note right there, Nick, is that while the ship may take you 100 days to get, this is a grindable, sourceable path that you can accomplish every artifact, including mastery, without ever dropping a dime. It's just going to take time. But at least it's not paywalled, and I think that is a very important thing to point out.
Even without the ship, you're able to get loads of these new art, not
from
like
the transigen
ones,
loop.
yes, but
That's right, from the transigen loop.
So what is available for the ship that isn't available for the ship at this point in time?
So,
what's the ship giving you that it wouldn't be giving you if you were just working the loop as best you could?
Inside the Epic Transigen bundle, right? Inside the Epic Transigen bundle, these right here, these are the ones that you would not be able to get through the normal Transigen loop. Now, Mord says time gating is a form of paywalling. I disagree fundamentally with that.
No, that's not true.
I disagree. The definition of paywall is literally locked behind a pack only. Time gating is a totally different mechanic, and honestly has always been acceptable in my mind as a form of monetization. You grind it out, or you pay to skip the grind. That has always been, in my mind, the acceptable. And a lot of big games, that's how it works. But it is not, by definition, a paywall. A paywall is something like, for example, the Imperial Ceremonial Uniform was up until this month. Okay, this was something that you could only buy. Tarpy, didn't you mention that there's an artifact you've been fighting for months? It was a tricorder one, right? Was it the classic tricorder?
Yes.
Classic tricorder.
Yes.
Okay, guess what? It's here now. But that was, Mord, in all fairness, that was actually paywalled. That was paywalled. You could only get it with a pack. Well, now it is grindable. All right. So this is an opportunity now that you can pay to skip the grind, but now you can actually obtain the classic tricorder in a grinder's fashion, and it's not locked only behind a pack. There is a fundamental difference there. And I know I disagree with a lot of people, but that's for 6 years. That has been my definition on this show. If it's available through pay only, that's a paywall. If it's time gated, that's a grinder's path, and you can pay to accelerate that. That becomes a personal choice. But, I don't like when that choice is either buy or don't buy, to have it or not have it. That's why I was so upset about Disco Prime for such a long time. All right. When it became grindable, it became much of a less of a sticking point for me. All right. But until it was grindable, you guys know I was on a very big fuss about that until it became grindable. Then bets are off. It's fine now. It's available to people. So I
Classic
think
tricorder and the Glavin, both of those, once you've unlocked them, the actual upgrade path is going to be through the temporal restoration. You can use disruptors to actually upgrade the classic tricorder and the Glavin. So all you need to do is unlock them.
And then,
So
Matters will tell
faster.
you. Yeah, Matters will tell you that I remember the day he unlocked the Glavin was also the day he maxed it. because of the temporal, because of the temporal disruptor thing. Yeah, Tarpy, the same thing. Yeah, because of the temporal disruptor farm available in the DTI store, Glavin, and what was the other one? Classic Tricorder. Practically an instant max if you're moving along well in the DTI store. So good stuff there. All right, Jules.
And get the ops to make use of that farm. It's not a low level.
Yeah, you gotta have what, level 60 or 50 artifact gallery. I don't remember now.
I mean, it depends on how well you're keeping up with the Zindiar model loop as well, because that one puts a lot of temporal disruptors into your stock.
Yeah. Well, DTI, I still think DTI does more. I still think the DTI does more.
But if you don't have the ops or the artifact gallery for some of those,
which does require artifact gallery 60, which is what I'm saying. So that looks good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. There you go. That is the wrap up on Serene Squall and what the transition loop is paying. A deep dive on that. We'll try to maybe put something into a quick and dirty a little bit later. That segment ran a little longer than I expected, but good data there. Questions for Jules, Griffin, or myself, Matters, or Tarpy in the audience? We'll give that about 2 or 3 minutes, but we are over our time, so it is about time to go. Cree, what's up? Welcome in. Appreciate you. Thanks for rating in with your audience. That's awesome.
Karkin's even willing to take questions, but they're not going to be real questions.
Yeah.
Just fun questions.
Yeah, he gets the stoner questions. All right. Anybody got a stoner question? He's your guy. All right.
What ships did you dip into what dip? I know the answer.
Yes.
There you go. Hey, Camel, thank you for the resub. Makasu, thank you for the resub a little bit ago. Thank you. Lost In dropping a couple of gifted a little short bit ago. And Dr. Doomsday, Lord of Scarin, crushing. Thank you guys for your resubs. I appreciate that very, very much. Cruzito said, all right, I am 50-50 on the ship. Who gets to be the tiebreaker? Who gets to be the tiebreaker on the ship? Are you going to buy it? Or you're not going to buy it? What are you going to do? What you going to do? Lord of Chaos. Jules, here's a question for you. Lord of Chaos says, what are the top 3 artifacts you're going to focus on out of the new Serene Squall store? And is the Section 31 beacon any good today?
No.
Skip the Section 31 beacon. There you go. Easy enough right there.
For those beacon is base shield health is it's not bad, but there's a lot of other bonuses in the game. My top 3 are the 3 mastery artifacts. And to be honest with you, I know that those are not out of the epic transition bundle; those are out of the artifact choice tokens. But those, 4 of those mastery, I'm looking to max those right away. And then eventually, when I have excess epic transition, I may start picking up some of the ones that were pay only up until now.
Yeah. Shiz says, should we be bummed that we're down a flashpoint this month? Because I think we should be. Honestly, no. Not unless they fix it. All right, which they made no...
I want my flashpoint.
Why?
I'm close to getting the fleet. I'm really close to getting the fleet preset.
Fleet preset.
Well, event store currency is event store currency. So if you want to mine faster and get those events done faster, you need to get the building parts from the flashpoints. So even if your server stinks, you can still do it yourself.
Okay.
Why do you want a fleet preset? It's a terrible feature. Definitely not quality of life, and certainly not worth watching a video about.
Definitely not. And if you do, you definitely don't want to leave a hateful comment that's directed at somebody who didn't even record the video. There's been even more. There's been even more, man.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
There's been even more. I saw one the other day. It was, dude, that video's got nothing but hate. Absolutely nothing but hate.
I love it.
And
I love everything about it.
People still think it's me. People still think it's me. Wolfwood says
it was sound the same.
Wolfwood says it was hated by everyone. Why would we want more? Well, Tarpy's right. Karkin's right. Event store loot. I guess. Yeah, I guess.
It's not like we're event overloaded at the moment. Like,
you know what? Now, God bless it. Last month, all we did was complain about how many events and how much. This is why we can't. Well, this is why we can't have nice
said it
things.
yourself. You weren't complaining last month, unless you're talking about the general population.
I'm talking about
of
the general
community, 'cause they seem
population
to be-
who all
But
complained
you
that there was
defended it. We love the extra event store. Who cares? More stuff is more stuff.
I did. I
So
agree.
how many events do free to play have this week? If you didn't buy the ship and you're not up 70,
0.5.
how many events?
7.
Okay, connected to the arc. So you have the Battle Pass event, and then you have either Mine Transigen, which is what you've been doing for the last 40 days.
It's even worse if you're done. You're ahead of the curve. Then you don't need to do that.
Yeah. Hey, listen,
So
me
there's literally
personally,
one event.
me personally, fine. You can throw anything up you want because I will ignore what I want to ignore. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. I just know that the community went absolutely ape crap bonkers over the schedule last month and the schedule in Wrath of Khan. Like, people don't recognize a good thing, but now they're complaining that they're bored. People are fickle, you know? Here's the bottom line. For me,
not necessarily the same people that are complaining.
I
People who weren't complaining before are now.
Yeah.
People.
Oh no, some of the same people are definitely complaining.
Yeah, that's probably true.
It's been all over the Discord today. Yeah.
Yeah.
They wake up and complain. C Engineering asked me if I got Strange New World. Scotty, yes, he's tier 2, level 10 for me. Engineering. I never use them.
Oh, this is interesting data. I'm going to throw this up here real quick. Jules, you want to do a quick talk through on this? Just some of the, you know what? This is really telling right here about who is finding value in this ship. This is very, very interesting stuff. We'll throw up a couple of screenshots. We'll wrap our show with this and shout out to Chronox, our friends over at STFC Statistics. Jules, taking a look at this first one right here, of course, taking a look at the first 48 hours, we see that nothing has come close to the Reliant. The Reliant has always been, or I say has always been, it was the best-selling ship of all time. All right, when it came to specialty ships. I mean, it did a great, great thing because, and again, you guys all said it, the juice was worth the squeeze. Lots of stuff there. As we see here, the Serene Squall, right middle of the pack, okay, right about a typical average, right literally at 100% of the average, so right dead middle of the pack, okay? How does that break down, Jules, based on generational grade? This is super telling. It almost tells me, Jules, that your chart has had a significant amount of impact over the last 48 hours.
I think that it'd be interesting to see what a breakdown of any other specialty ship is and how this kind of relates to that kind of curve, because we do have more spenders now on G6 just because it doesn't take a lot to spend to progress through ops now. Like, you can progress pretty quickly with a smaller amount of spend. So we have more G6 players now, and a lot of G6 players who do buy a pack or two every single month. So we're naturally going to see more there, but just seeing this amount more does kind of point to seeing more value, primarily from the Sigma speedups, I believe. I know that just looking at those numbers, particularly early, looking at the refinery numbers, or purchasing the ship and actually bring it up a couple tiers, you'll see those numbers pump up and you'll be like, I really want those Sigma speedups. So it could have been a good value for G6 players, more than usual.
Yeah, and I see Lost In says in the chat, that's just a typical spender relationship. And, maybe this chart supports that a little bit. Taking a look at this one here, where it breaks it down by ops level, we can see, obviously, that the level 70s got even more of them, which actually is a little interesting, given that the level 70s don't need the Sigma speed-ups, right? So a little interesting. Information there.
Just tearing up a G6 epic, it takes a lot of Sigma speed up. So still need it. But I think we're also, Cruzito, to your point, whether you should go over or not on this, do you think that G7 will use Sigma speed ups, and do you want to start banking those Sigma speed ups in preparation for G7 release? And I think that possibly yes.
I think I agree with that. I do not believe that Scopely is going to abandon the Sigma mechanic after only one generation. I do believe that their economy reset was ultimately successful. I know that there was a lot of conversation about that in the very beginning, and And one of the most influential memes that has ever come out of this show was based on the moment I learned about Sigma.
Your Shocky face.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. But I got to be honest with you. I am not unhappy with how it panned out for the general audience. Obviously, leading edge is always going to be expensive. The tax was there in the very beginning, and it was abrasive. It was tough in the very beginning. But what they did with the economy kind of reset there, I'm not unhappy with how that's translated. I mean, look at the progression. Yeah. What did we say the other day? There was something like 2,000 some 70s in the game at this point. We're less than 2 years. I mean, that is more progression than existed when 60 was the cap. And it's a lot more progression than when 39 was the cap. And when 50 was the cap. So I believe, Jules, if this is a conversation for another day, but just kind of in summary, would you be surprised to see Sigma in G7?
No, I would not be surprised to see Sigma in G7. And I think that we still have a lot to go in where those resource caps are going to be. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about trillions and quadrillions of the standard resources. Mm-hmm. We're still in the millions right now of Sigma. Yeah. So there's room to grow in Sigma still. And I do imagine that we'll get to a point where we're spending years to upgrade an ops in Sigma speedups.
Yeah, well, I mean, they certainly planned for it in the Latinum cost. That's for daggone sure. So, all right, guys, I believe that is about it. Do we have anything else that we need to do real quick? Because, again, like I said, we are significantly over on time. But I would like to Lost It says,
Ew, like bum diggity. I am not fluffy. Huh? Yeah, what is that supposed to mean?
I think he's talking. Wait, he is talking about you. No, they were talking about me being squishy. Squishy, not fluffy. Squishy. They were talking about I am. Oh, come on, Skippy. Are you serious? There's 2,136 Op 70 players in power. I am ranked 2,136.
No way, really?
No, that can't be real. You are lying, sir. Lawson says, I'd like to know what the top 14 content creators think about Sigma continuing in G7, to be honest with you. Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys are also sweet and kind. I love you all. Jules Verne, thank you for amazing teaching tonight. Tarpy for producing an excellent show. Thank you. Run of schedule was amazing, even though I shot the schedule all to hell. Thank you, Karkin Putz. Appreciate you. Griffin, great to have you back, man. I'm really glad to have you back. Schedule-wise, I was contemplating a bonus stream tomorrow, but I'm not sure. If I'm feeling like I did today, I'm probably not going to do it, to be straight up with you. But we do have some stuff to do on Saturday. Studio B, hopefully, if I can get the studio rebuilt, I'm working on that. Everything, all the paint is up, so hopefully we'll see how that goes. I got some of the furniture today, so I gotta do some building. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll follow up throughout the weekend. Sunday, we'll be back here in the studio of Talking Trek, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we've got and see if there's anything else that we can find that's silly and goofy in the meantime. All right. Griffin, appreciate you, bud. Good to have you back.
Yeah, man.
Where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
I'm right here. So happy to be here. Good to see everybody. Thank you very much for checking in on me on my absence. I'm glad to be here with you all.
Well,
except you, Cruzito.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, guys, visit us on our website, TalkingTrekSTFC.com. That's TalkingTrekSTFC.com, where you can find links over to our merch store. Brand new merch is up. Thanks to Candy White. You guys can go check that out. And you'll find links over to our YouTube, where we've got a couple of things. We also put our video up of the Paramount Lodge. Scribbler and I toured the Paramount Lodge while we were in San Diego Comic-Con, and you can take a quick peek in there. Did you guys see the scene that we got to see, the set that we got to see before it aired on television? Huh? That was actually really, really cool. And there's one more set that hasn't aired yet. So you guys be sure to go check out that video. It was a fun little video Scribbler and I did at the Paramount Lodge in San Diego Comic-Con. My name is UltimatDJz, thanking you for being a part of our live studio audience. I am indeed your friendly neighborhood cat person saying meow for now. Love you, mean it. We'll catch you coming up later this weekend. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll... I think there's nobody on. There's nobody on. Who are we going to raid?
The bed. We're going to raid the bed.
I'm going to go to bed. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.